Supported by FSG, publisher of Unmaking the Presidency, Donald Trump's War on the World's Most Powerful Office. A crucial and definitive account of Trump's legacy on the future and the meaning of the U.S. presidency.
Sometimes you have to make things look beautiful and sound easy, and then other times you just gotta come straight and raw. And Cole Sports today is coming at you raw.
Welcome to Cole Sports. You have entered the zone called sports on another level. And now, here's your host, Cole Johnson.
Thank you, Spike. Appreciate you, brother. Cole Johnson here on the Daily is on tap. And here I am on the grounds of the VIP honors and on the throes of it and on the heels of it. And normally this is Monday. I would go into rapid fire mode, but well, there's no need for it because this segment, the next segment, the segment after that, and the final segment, which also is the list, all surrounding Mr. Kobe Bean Bryant. And why is that? Well, if those of you who don't know, this is extremely unfortunate. So, early yesterday morning, there were 9 people who boarded a helicopter in Southern California, and 2 of those passengers were Kobe Bryant and his 13-year-old daughter, Gianna. And this is an account from the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department. Now, among the victims, like I said, Kobe himself, his daughter, Gianna, and Orange Coast College baseball coach John Altobelli, his wife, and their daughter, Alyssa. It was reported that the crash happened about 10 local time, and that would be noon where I am. I'm based out in the South. And earlier in the afternoon, we all caught wind that it was official, that Mr. Kobe Bryant passed away in this horrific trash. Adam Silver, the commissioner of the NBA, he confirmed the death of both Bryant and Gianna. And he said thusly, quote, "The NBA family is devastated by the tragic passing of Kobe Bryant and his daughter Gianna." Close quote. You know, it's amazing when you think about when you get a chance to look at somebody, do certain things, be a certain thing, and you don't realize how much of a presence this person's had on your life until that presence is gone. I think a lot of people are feeling that. And I think Commissioner Silver said it best as he continued. Quote, "For 20 years, Kobe showed us what is possible when remarkable talent blends with an absolute devotion to winning. He was one of the most extraordinary players in the history of our game with accomplishments that are legendary. 5 NBA championships, 1 NBA MVP award, 18 NBA All-Star selections, and 2 Olympic gold medals. But he will be remembered most for inspiring people around the world to pick up a basketball and compete to the very best of their ability. He was generous with the wisdom he acquired and saw it as his mission to share it with future generations of players, taking special delight in passing down the love of the game to Gianna. We send our heartfelt condolences to his wife, Vanessa, their family, and the Lakers organization, along with the entire sports world." Close quote. And I share in that sentiment. Kobe is survived, and Gianna also is survived by the other 3 daughters he has, along with his wife, Vanessa. And you just never, you never have the right words to say, and you don't know how things could gut punch you. You know, I think of iconic figures in sports. Kobe Bryant is an iconic figure. Just think about them when they died. You know, Michael Jackson back in 2009, Prince in 2016. Here's these guys, both were still far young, wasn't even close to dying. And all of a sudden it's snuffed and it comes at you fast. I think that's what we're seeing, and that's what I'm hearing. That's what I'm understanding. And you don't know when you don't know what you're going to say or feel when it hits you, but you know, when it does, it just gut punches you. And that's what we have here. Well, the guy who brought Kobe into the LA stratosphere way back in 1996 in the NBA draft that year, the then general manager of the Lakers, Jerry West, he now is part of the Clippers organization. He had some wonderful, kind words, emotional words in regards to the death of Kobe Bryant. The logo just felt a kinship to him. And, he just didn't really know how to put this in words, but he gave it his best shot. Quote, "One of the worst days of my life. The only thing I can compare to it is if I had a brother killed in Korea. The only thing that I can compare to is I had a brother killed in Korea. I'm just devastated by this news." Close quote. Mr. West, I'm with you. I'm with you. And he went on to say this, quote, "This was a man for all seasons. He was more than an iconic basketball player. He was someone who inspired millions of fans, not here in this state, not here in the United States, all over the world. He was beloved. For me, this is a god-awful day." I think you can see special talents in people. A lot of people have special talent, but they waste it or they never use it. He didn't ruin his opportunity. He was never going to give up. I think because he started so young that he resonated with so many people, young kids who had hopes and dreams like he did. And he brought joy to so many young kids that had the same admiration, the same desire to do something unique. Close quote. When I was introduced to him, not necessarily physically, but when I got a chance to see him, way back in 1997, because I really didn't get a good grasp of him in 96, but when I saw him in 97 and he showed what he could do, and he showed that he could take criticism and showed that he had fight and grit. And he just kept coming and it kept coming and kept coming. And he was going to be someone you could not deny. No matter how hard you tried, no matter how hard or even successful you were. He was always going to come with it, come at you, smack you with the understanding that he was not going to be denied and he wasn't going to quit. The man, think about this. The man was so great. He had not one, but 2 numbers retired. And I've been following basketball for at least 40 years and 40 years. And I cannot think of another player who has had 2 numbers retired. Now I can think of, players that have had different distinctions like Michael Jordan having numbers retired by different organizations and Kobe. He has the number 24 retired by the Mavericks, never played for the team. But just to show the amount of respect that other teams or players or organizations can have of you, it just shows you how far reaching how far-reaching, and I say it again, how far-reaching the talent, the drive, the passion, the will to win goes. Normally here I would say burn it up, but I don't have the fire. Hopefully it will come. It's not coming now. But what will be coming is that on the other side of this break, more Kobe. There's going to be Kobe all episode long. You've tuned into the classiest sports show on the planet, Cole Sports on the Daily. Cole Johnson here. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll be right back. It's on, and I'm so glad that you're here. And what a first episode to debut the one thing that I haven't had in a long time. You can reach me, VIP, by phone. Area code 615-988-5196. That's area code 615-988-5196. Leave a voicemail if I don't get to you, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. And if I get a chance to talk to you, that's even better. 615-988-5196. That's 615-988-5196. I want to hear what you have to say, especially with Kobe. And I want to do what you want. I want to talk about the subject matter that you have in your heart, that you want me to cover. Because I do this for you, not for me. Back to Kobe, and two of the biggest icons of the Lakers share in the same pall of devastation, as we all do. I'll start with Magic. I'll continue with Magic because I already started with Jerry West. When news came to Magic, he was just devastated. He couldn't believe it. And it hit him hard. It hit him absolutely hard. Magic took to Twitter, as he often does. But this time it wasn't to big up somebody. It wasn't to highlight something that may not have been the way it's supposed to be. No, it was to lament on the man we call Black Mamba. Quote, as I try to write this post, my mind is racing. I'm in disbelief, and I've been crying all morning over this devastating news that Kobe and his young daughter Gigi passed away in an helicopter crash. Cookie and I are heartbroken. I love him. His family and what he stood for on the court I love him, his family, and what he stood for on the court and off the court. My friend, a legend, husband, father, son, brother, Oscar winner, and greatest Laker of all time is gone. It's hard to accept Kobe was a leader of our game. It's hard to accept. Kobe was a leader of our game, a mentor to both male and female players. He gave us knowledge, time, talent to tutor so many at the youth level, collegiate level, and NBA and WNBA players alike. Words can't express the impact he had on the game of basketball. I know basketball fans all over the world will miss him, especially the city of Los Angeles. Close quote. Magic ended the series of tweets by saying, "We'll love you forever," number 8 and number 24. Now, I disagree with the greatest Laker of all time label, even coming from Magic, but he definitely is one of the greatest NBA players who's ever suited up. There's no question. He's the longest tenured Laker in the history of the franchise as well. And the presence like him is going to be missed. The fire that he had is going to be missed. The audacity to believe things that you don't believe in him will be missed. And to me, one of the key people who suffered that wrath was an ex-teammate of his, Shaquille O'Neal. And no matter what, the two of them will always be linked because they won their first 3 championships together, and they needed the other to achieve those ends. When Shaq caught wind of Kobe's death, he too took to Twitter and he tweeted the following. Quote, "There's no words to express the pain I'm going through with this tragedy of my GG and my brother, at Kobe Bryant. I love you and you will be missed. My condolences go out to the Bryant family and the families of the other passengers on board. I'm sick right now." Close quote. Now, back when they were teammates, and they were teammates for 8 years, you would not have thought that they had this bond like they've expressed as recently as, 2 years ago? But it just goes to show you the impact that someone can have on you when you're around them for so long. O'Neal continued on Twitter, quote, "Kobe was so much more than an athlete. He was a family man. That was what we had most in common. I would hug his children like they were my own, and he would embrace my kids like they were his. His baby girl Gigi was born on the same day as my youngest daughter, Mehara." Close quote. Man, I wish I had the words. I wish I could be more eloquent than I have been, but it just, it just hit me. I just came back from a function with my wife, and I had a chance to pick up the phone and read, and I was thinking, okay, well, I'm getting ready because, Super Bowl is in 6 days. Well, yesterday, 7. And, I want to know about the hype. The teams are supposed to land in Miami, and, media day is going to be soon. And I'm going to be hyped and pumped for the 49ers and Chiefs, and it's going to be a great game. That's what I was thinking. Until those brakes got hit hard. And I saw, at first, Kobe's daughter dead. That hurt my heart. Seeing that. And then a few minutes later, after I told my wife, she read to me that Kobe also passed. I said, man, this is a mighty blow for all of sports, not just basketball and basketball heads, not just NBA heads. This is a sports blow because he had so much impact on so many sports and so many people. I would dare say I don't even think basketball was his first love in terms of sports. I would say soccer was. Because he was reared in Italy, and he was nice with the dribbling, from what I understood. Yeah, that man was so well versed. It's not even funny. Not even funny. But his time is come and gone, and I hate saying that, but it's true. So why is it so important that O'Neal tweeted this? Well, the two won world championships in 2000, 2001, and 2002. They went to the NBA finals also in 2004. And the two of them, starting in 1997, built the struggle to get to that brass ring. And when they finally got there, they were a difficult duo to even slow down, let alone stop, because the following year, both guys averaged 29 points. So they were really good for each other. I think they didn't want to admit that. And it's unfortunate. But man, I really do miss Kobe Bryant. I miss him already, and it's only been a day. And I'm saying this, I wasn't a Lakers fan. I wasn't a Kobe stan. I just respected the athlete that he was. And I hate to say it past tense, because I don't expect this to be a past tense thing. Like I said to Brian Snow when I was interviewed by him for Snowman in the Morning, I said one of the events in 2021 was I was geared and pumped and waiting with bated breath as to when Kobe was going to be announced and then appear at the Basketball Hall of Fame, because he was going to be first ballot. There was going to be no question. And I was looking forward to what he was going to say, because he is to me is the most enlightening basketball player I have ever heard in my life. Kareem comes close, but to me it's Kobe. So learned, so diverse in his knowledge, and the dude was nice with words. And that's what hurts so much. This big time presence who was starting to live his best life, because I think he started to have the freedom of being a human being, that he didn't have that dogmatic, single-minded tunnel vision focus on being the best basketball player in the NBA. He wanted to live his best life as a human being, and he got the chance to do that for 3.5 years, and now it's all snuffed by a helicopter, possibly suffering from visibility issues, crashing into the side of a mountain. I share the sentiments of Magic and Shaq. I'm sick right now too, Big Aristotle. And he was a family man, and he was a man who was more than just basketball. He was a man of so many different talents. And I still think he scratched the surface in that. You're listening to On the Daily on RTF Sports Network. Thank you for joining me. And on the other side of the break, I'm going to talk about the impact in the heads of State Department when it comes to Kobe Bryant. Back after this. If you feel the need to say it to Cole, say it with your chest. Go to speakpipe.com/Cole Sports with a Z, record, speak, and send. And if you feel the need to write instead of speak, info@colesportswithaz.com. That's the address to address him. Now, back to the regularly scheduled programming, already in progress. Reached the bottom of the hour. Cole Johnson here. Cole Sports presents On the Daily. It's Kobe all day. It's Kobe all day. And I had a show planned and everything. It just wasn't in the cards. I mean, put it this way. To have my wife be rocked by it and she passively follows sports, especially basketball, you know he had an impact. And the comments from both former President Barack Obama and current President Donald Trump, it just goes to show you that his reach went far beyond basketball or even sports. President Obama, former President Obama, posted a tribute in honor of Bryant, and seemingly Twitter is the account to capture all of these things. President Obama talked about him on Twitter as well. Quote, Kobe was a legend on the court and just getting started in what would have been just as meaningful a second act. To lose Gianna is even more heartbreaking to us as parents. Michelle and I send love and prayers to Vanessa and the entire Bryant family on an unthinkable day. Close quote. And the former president is right. It is unthinkable. You know, I mean, it's unthinkable. I mean, this guy was, like I said, just barely living his life. I actually just saw an interview he did on Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson's podcast, All the Smoke. And the guy that I saw on that interview, reflective, sensitive, still strong, but measured in thought and insightful and intelligent. Much of it belied the animalistic focus of, if you're with me, I'll take you there. And if you're against me, I want to slit your throat. That competitive fire that he had on the court. You didn't see it in retirement. It was more like, I'm doing a victory lap. That's what I gathered. His retirement was more of a victory lap than the 2016 season ever was for him. But the former president is correct. I mean, he touched us all. He touched us all. The current president, Donald Trump, actually said as well and sent his condolences to the Bryant family. Quote, reports are that basketball great Kobe Bryant and 3 others have been killed in a helicopter crash in California. That is terrible news. Kobe Bryant, despite being one of the truly great basketball players of all time, was just getting started in life. He loved his family so much and had such strong passion for the future. The loss of his beautiful daughter Gianna makes this moment even more devastating. Melania and I send our warmest condolences to Vanessa and the wonderful Bryant family. May God be with you all. Close quote. Yeah, may God be with all of us in this. I really am stumped. Normally I can just go on and on and on about topics. I'm stumped because, I wasn't thinking death with him. My thought was, he was going to probably outlive me, that was what I was thinking. He may recede into the background. He may not want to be as publicized in being famous. He may want to have a lower profile and keep a lower profile. That I imagined. Death? No. Death. Not now. Not at 41. And he was starting to make dents in the business world. He has a media company. He wanted to build on that. And here it is. A life fully fulfilled by what he did on the court. Fully fulfilled by seeing the example of what he has breathed on his four children, now 3 surviving ones. But his life in former president's terms, second act, was cut far too short, extremely too early. This guts me. Because as I said earlier, you just don't know how people can impact you. And it is like that Joni Mitchell song, you don't know what you got till it's gone. I didn't realize how much of an impact Kobe Bryant made upon me, and I didn't root for him. I didn't root against him unless he played against the Rockets, of course, but I didn't root for him nor against him. But this guy was amazing. Between chase down blocks and steals and taking on defensive challenges to defend a player and shutting him down on defense, and on offense do whatever he wanted to do with you, whether it was a running jumper or fade away or drive to the hole and a penetration dish, or a drive to the hole that ends in a dunk, or his version of the dream shake. I mean, there's just so many different things this guy did in terms of growing his game, growing his own game. Seeing that is going to be missed. Seeing that is going to be totally missed. Because there isn't anybody who reminds you of Kobe Bryant that's playing now. There isn't one. No one guy or woman even reminds me of him that's playing now. And the fact that he got a chance to touch people's lives outside of basketball, that just tells you the type of reach this man has currently. I could say had, but I do mean has. Because he still reaches out, even in the grave. I'm influenced by him, and I don't root for them. I don't root for him at all, but I'm inspired by him. And it didn't even take death for me to do that. Just hearing his acceptance speech when he won his Academy Award, that's when I knew. Like I said, this guy is not just a jock. He can actually tell stories, and he did, and tell stories well at that. And he's not a guy who is your average, everyday, typical American. Because he, in his formative years, didn't grow up in America. Grew up in Italy, where he was fluent in Italian. And God knows how many other languages, because in Europe, you're taught different languages. As a means of connection to everybody on the continent. It's just hard. It's just hard to fathom. Someone who was here today, and then he's gone. I need to take a break. Let me collect my thoughts. On the other side, we're going to give you the list. Coming up on tomorrow's episode of Cole Sports on the Daily, we're going to rewind. That means we're going to take an event and talk about an important one in sports history. That's for tomorrow. For today, it has been Kobe Bryant this, Kobe Bryant that, Kobe Bryant the other, because that is the story. Not just the sports story. That's the story of the weekend. And so it got me to thinking, how many things can I say he impacted? His surroundings, the individuals that came into his life, and fans alike. And so I thought about eight different events. And I had to put them on the list. The list will be 8 Kobe Bryant moments. Now, there's many other moments that I could have put, but I wanted to honor the number they came with in the league, which was number 8. The first moment for Kobe Bryant, June 26th, 1996. So Kobe was drafted by the Hornets at number 13. Many people, I won't say forget, but I think they gloss over the fact that the Lakers never drafted him. But the general manager at the time, Jerry West, I will always say this, and I still believe this to this day, the greatest NBA executive of all time. This league has been in existence 73 years. There has not been an executive more important to the sport and was more successful in that role than Jerry West. So this guy knows talent. And he signed Shaq from free agency the same year. He traded for Kobe. What he saw in him, I never knew. And I will never know. But it just goes to show how brilliant the logo is. He knew that this guy had talent. It was just a matter of time before it came out of him. The second moment for Kobe Bryant. Now, I could have went with the time he chunked airball after airball in the playoffs, but I didn't want to go that route. I wanted to go the route of the first All-Star starting nod that he got. And that would be at the age of 19, and that would be in 1998. We saw a glimpse of what we was going to see in the future. I mean, that young man could put on a show, and put on a show he did in that All-Star game. He is remarkable. Third moment for Kobe Bryant. First chip. Now, they fought hard against the Pacers, and they got a chip in 6. But it is the series beforehand which made people, especially Los Angelinos, very nervous and almost doubt the Lakers altogether. It's West Conference Finals, 2000. The Lakers are down at one point by 15. And you saw the feverish comeback capped off by when Bryant drove down the lane. He threw it up in the air. Shaq came down with it, and Staples Center exploded in noise. You would have thought they won their championship then, not 2 weeks later. But man, that was awesome to watch. It was awesome to see him blossom and grow. It was even awesome to see him in commercials, which is something you don't see now with him and hadn't seen since the middle portion of the 2000s. Fourth reason. So after the 3 championships, he was a made man, so to speak, in Los Angeles. Then all of a sudden, he catches a case in Colorado. Back in 2003, you had this guy who led the team in scoring that year. He would on occasions fly back and forth from Aspen, I believe, to Los Angeles. And sometimes he would fly from the courtroom in Colorado back to LA just to play. So for those who didn't understand what I was saying, so in the summer of 2003, Bryant was charged with 1 count of sexual assault, and that involved a 19-year-old hotel worker. Now, the charge accused Bryant of sexual penetration or intrusion, and he caused a submission of the victim through physical force. He never denied it. He never accepted it. But they did settle out of court a year and a half later. And that was the beginning of the end of the love affair that NBA fan had with Kobe. Now, unless you're a true Kobe fan, you're not rocking him being a Laker in terms of having on-court issues or off-court issues. You know, Magic is squeaky clean. Now, he had a problem and be monogamous, but that's a horse of a different color. Fourth moment for Kobe Bryant. And again, I'm not saying that these are the 8 moments. I'm saying these are 8 moments of probably so many he could share. After the trial, they go against the Pistons and they beat that team up. They beat the 2004 Lakers up. And I think Bryant was like, I think it's time to break this team up. I'm not winning with you guys. Heck, I can do the same thing like this without you. And then after that, get better. That's what he did. And in the midst of all that, had a game-winning shot in the playoffs. Had a streak where he scored, I think, 50 points to 9 straight games. And had, I think, 20 games of 40-plus point performances. And you can't forget 81. The game he scored 81 points against the Raptors. And that precipitates the commercial that we see as of late between the two of them. Sixth moment. So after Shaq left the team in 2004 and went to the Heat and in other places, after not really gelling with the teammates that the Lakers were giving him, and without the brass ring, people were saying that he was done, that he needed Shaq, that there was no way he was going to win without him. He even suffered indignity via rap beef with Shaquille, because he did a hook where he said, Kobe, tell him how his behind tastes. But he did not use the word behind. But through all of that, literally waiting through all of that, MVP where it didn't end in the championship. The next year, they got that championship. And Kobe got that championship without a big-time player and without the big-time player in Shaquille. So after that doldrums period, they broke through, got to the finals in 2008, won it in 2009 and 2010, came close to winning in 2011 as well, but the Mavericks were like, nope, we have plans of our own. The comment that I always loved that Kobe said when he was asked after the 5th championship, I think the question was, what does it mean to have this championship? And Kobe's answer was, well, I have one more than Shaq. So you got to be careful. You can't just flap your gums everywhere, because sometimes you get the wrong person and he or she will be motivated beyond all of what you see just to prove a point. The seventh moment for Kobe Bryant. 2013. He's still trying to carry the team. Still. And then the Achilles rupture. Now, he was originally due to not play for another 6 to 9 months. This is Kobe here. You know that he's going to defy that. So he fiercely worked and worked and worked and worked. Until getting back on the court, 2014, he got busy once again. He was healthy for the first time in God knows how long. And that also helps. And of course, he ended it by going for 60 in that game. And I find that crazy. That his very last NBA game, he scored 60 points. It was like, well, you want to be gone, this is what you're going to miss. And then here's this award show. Here's this award company. And then here comes the Academy Award. He did a documentary called Dear Basketball, and it got so much traction that it ended up being an Academy Award winner. So not only was he great on the court, he was being great off of it too. Just we didn't quite understand his motivation. But later on in his life, we did get it. So the 8 things that stand out to me with Kobe Bryant. Number 1, he was drafted by the Hornets and then traded to the Lakers. Number 2, he started his first All-Star game, which was in 1998. Number 3, he won his first title in 2000 with Shaq. Number 4, his sexual assault case that took a 1.5 years to fix. And he should face the music to a degree with that. Number 5, from Shaq to title. And that 5-year stretch was brutal. He knew where his bread was buttered. He knew that he could win against inferior talent. He always wanted Kobe, I'm talking about, to be tested. And that's what you got. Number 6, he wins his 4th championship, and after 4th and 5th championship, and after his 5th, Kobe said, I got one more than Shaq. Number 7, the Achilles heel tear and the subsequent workout to help him get back to health. Tough man. And then number 8, the documentary Dear Basketball. Kobe won that. Kobe, a champion and an Academy Award winner. Brilliant. And that is the list. If you want to get at me, the area code is 615. The number is 988-5196. That's 615-988-5196. And if you want to get at me on my materials, open.acast.com and all major podcast directories. And along with that, coldsportswithaz.com. And you can also email me at info@coldsportswithaz.com. And as you can understand and ascertain, it doesn't really matter when and how and what you're listening to. I just want you to do these three things. Love your neighbors, yourself, and love yourself with your whole heart. Tell a friend to tell a friend about this particular program and enjoy the content. Please enjoy it. For intelligent sportsmen all around the world, I'm Cole Johnson. This is Cole Sports on your audio, headphones or earbuds, and on the daily.
You've been listening to Cole Sports with Cole Johnson.
"20 years is a long time to execute. Doing it for, let's say, roughly a little more than half of that time. It just goes to show you the type of man that Kobe Bryant was. 2 numbers retired. Not 1, 2. Played with an organization for 2 decades strong. He went from throwing air balls up in playoffs to scoring 60 points in his final game ever. It's unfortunate that we are saying this about what happened to him yesterday. The show will be dedicated to Kobe Bryant, dead at the age of 41.
Welcome to Opinionated Facts. I am 1/3 of your Opinionated Facts host. I am Red, known as B Rude, as Coach Rudy, a couple names that I like to give myself other than the Republican of Sports Talk Radio, whatever my co-host gives you, B-Way. He is still under the weather. We came to you last week.
He a little more under the weather.
B-Way was under the weather, and he didn't want to play in the flu game like Mike. He said he didn't have it, so he's sitting out today. But we have special guest in the building, honorary host. He's actually like, so if I'm 1/3 and then Brandon weighs 2/3 and Jack is 3/3 of the group, he's that little tiny bit left over, that 0.1% host. He filled in. It's been a while since he filled in, man. It's been a while since you've been gone. You haven't been back for a while. We've asked him to come back a few times, and he's been busy. He's been working. He's been doing this. He's been doing that. But he's back today, so he's filling in, and it's just him and I, also better known as my big little brother, because we're actually brothers. We're real brothers. That's Mr. Samar S. Rude.
What's up? He's downplaying my. I'm like the fourth member of the Heatles. So they LeBron, D Wade, and Bosh, but I'm Ray Allen. I come through in the clutch.
I mean, Ray is still Ray, still Hall of Famer.
But he's still fourth.
Is he Hall of Famer?
Yeah, Ray's in. Come on, let's stop. Well,
we come to you today with sad news. We wanted to bring a little extra energy because we've all been focused on the sad news and the extremely early passing of one of the GOATs. Some people say the GOAT.
Nobody says that.
Some people say the GOAT.
Nobody
I don't
says
think he's
that.
ever got enough. I don't think he's ever got enough respect in that category, especially for me. But the Kobe Bryant passing has set the sports world ablaze, basically, and it's just all you're seeing on the news. You're seeing it every channel. We are going to talk about it and touch on it. We're not going to spend the entire time on it just because we do not want to just keep on beating a dead horse here. Like, I mean, that's a bad. I guess that is bad. You said, like, no, we just don't. We don't want to keep dwelling on it.
Dead or alive?
No, I'm not ready for that yet. But that hearing the news yesterday, I was leaving lunch. And my phone kept going off, and I'm just finding out. And TMZ broke the news, and I don't ever really believe anything from TMZ or any other outlets unless I see it from like CNN or ESPN. I base everything off of ESPN. If they reported, it's facts.
I didn't believe it until Woj reported it.
Woj's never wrong.
Reported, I was like, oh man, Kobe dead.
Agent Wojnarowski, he broke the news, and that's when I was like, oh, this is a real thing. I was hoping his wife and the kids were on board. I knew, but right away, my first thought was Gianna, because they're always together. So that first thing was, if no one was on that helicopter, she was. It's only you almost knew she had to be. They're always together. Anytime they go somewhere, they're traveling together.
And the initial reports were saying all four kids were on there.
Yeah, I didn't believe none of that. I didn't believe anything until I found I felt like, okay, Gianna's probably on there. Other than that, I didn't feel a way about anything. I was just, we'll wait till the news comes out. But hearing the news of her passing, and not only just her, but her friends, she had other girls that were her age on there as well.
Her teammates' parents.
Yes, and that was probably the more difficult part for myself, just because I have children that are younger than her. My son is 11, my other son is 7. And we both got kids that are coming up, and we want to, regardless of what happens to us, regardless if you're around or not, you don't ever want anything to happen to them.
I thought the Kobe thing was tragic, but the news that hit me was Gianna. My daughter's 8. I just thought about going down. What are you going to tell your daughter? And in those last moments when...
Yeah, because we always think, in the helicopter or plane, you have time to think about what's about to go.
That's what makes it the worst part about it.
Yeah, so you're in your mind, you're like, what do? You have your kid, tell them it's going to be all right before, you hit that ground. You're hoping, but as an adult, as he's 41 years old, he probably knew it was a good chance that this may not end well. But she wasn't, she was probably just scared or whatever. We don't want to speculate. But it is a very difficult time, and we just want to send our thoughts and prayers out to the Bryant family.
As well as the other families.
And as well as the other family. I know we're getting away from the other people just because Kobe was such a figure in our lives, especially. We grew up on basketball and Jordan and LeBron and watching Kobe, and we grew up on this stuff. We're throwing paper in the trash can in high school, screaming Kobe. I heard my boss walk in the office today and do it. So it's like we've been doing that stuff for years. So it hits home for a lot of people. One of my friends said last night, he felt like he lost a family member. Like he said, yo, this messed me up so bad. Like I feel like I lost a family member, and I didn't, I never even met the guy. So again, thoughts and prayers with everyone involved. And hopefully they have better days coming. You want to talk about anything that had to do with Kobe, or maybe a favorite story, a favorite time? I mean, I had the pleasure of seeing him play live. I actually took our sister Sheree to the Sixer game once. I remember the first. It's funny, like now, because the first I'd say the first minute of the game, Kobe went down with ankle injury. So here we are, got these great seats. We're like 15 row off the court. Great seats. She's like, right away, it happens. He stays down on the ground. She's like, Kobe, no. And the whole arena's quiet. First of all, the entire arena's quiet. Like, so we're all sitting there waiting if he's going to get up. Me personally, I wasn't a big Kobe fan, so I didn't even care. I was just sitting there like, okay, whatever. I was just there for her. She's like, Kobe, no. Kobe, please don't do this to me. I came all the way here, Kobe. Please don't do this to me. It's not. But later on in the game, he actually came back and played. So that's just a funny story I have from watching him play. Though I've seen him play a few times, but that was my most memorable one, just because my sister was upset about what just transpired, and he was actually fine. Came back to the game a couple minutes later and was fine.
Yeah, I wasn't never really a Kobe fan. I mean, I thought, especially late in his career, it was hard to win with him. Made a lot of excuses. But the last game, that's one of my best memories of Kobe, because I was out. I was at a bar, a club, and it was something if you saw it in the movie, you wouldn't believe it. The 61. But it was because the game was close and they were down. And every shot down the stretch mattered. Take away, he shot 51 shots that game, but
come on, man.
At the end of the game, he was clutch.
What people don't understand, though, with you are a Jordan fan.
That had nothing to do with Kobe, though.
It has everything to do with Kobe.
Nah.
Just like me, that's like me saying the reason why I wasn't a Kobe Bryant fan necessarily is because I was a big LeBron supporter. Because it's always that debate. It's always the Jordan, Kobe, LeBron debate.
I don't think nobody debates Jordan versus Kobe. Nobody ever said Kobe.
That's because they forgot. Like Allen Iverson said, man, they must have forgot. Like, you're right.
Nobody ever debated that. Kobe, wasn't really a Kobe fan because I wasn't a fan of always deflecting on other people. When you're the leader, you're trying to say, "Oh, I ain't got enough talent around me. It's my teammates." When you're a volume shooter, and he was shooting a low volume late in his career. I mean, those 8 for 26 games when they were losing. I didn't like that. I can like players that are rival. I'm a Kawhi fan. He plays both sides of the ball. Jimmy Butler, they play both sides. Those kind of players are the kind of players I usually gravitate
toward. Yeah, but I feel like anyone that's compared to that. And the thing with Kobe was, people don't compare him and Jordan. I feel like it's because Kobe Bryant, a lot of people think he's a movie we already seen, because he was the closest thing. Like, he emulated Jordan. Like, a lot of the moves we've seen, everything he did, we've seen Jordan do it. So the comparison never came from like Michael Jordan, Bryant. It was always Jordan, James, because we really didn't see someone that good that could do what James did. Like, you had the Elgin Baylors and the what's Robinson guy's first name. What the heck is his name? Forgetting right now.
Robinson.
Average triple double. Before Westbrook, obviously. I don't know why I'm having a blank here.
It wasn't Robinson.
Oscar Robertson. Oscar Robertson. He was like the closest thing people say to seeing LeBron. He just took it to another level, LeBron. And because we don't feel like we're watching Jordan all over again.
Robinson played point guard.
LeBron played point guard.
LeBron was like a scoring Magic Johnson.
It was better. And we haven't seen this before. When people are saying we haven't seen this before. We've seen, like, people say, oh, everything Kobe does, it's Michael Jordan. But the biggest difference I see with the Kobe-Michael comparison, Kobe's more reachable now. Now he retired. Like, Jordan still lives in a bubble. Like, you don't ever hear a word from Jordan. You might see him smoking a cigar. You might see him sitting on the bench from time to time, the team he owns.
Because you're proving the point. Michael Jordan can't be reachable. When Michael Jordan goes somewhere, he shuts it down.
That's not, no.
Jordan can't go to his daughter's game. He shut it down.
First of all, if LeBron can go to his son's game, anyone can go anywhere. Jordan can go anywhere he wants. He's been to his son's game in that little JUCO they played at.
Don't disrespect his little Marcus.
I'm not disrespecting. I'm just saying. They the pictures. This guy got a picture with everybody now. Like the reason why I was
social
telling
media area changes it.
I was
social
telling
media era.
I was telling somebody this yesterday. Kobe being in an accident and tragically dying is a bigger story than if it happened to Michael Jordan now.
Only because of his age and how sudden it was.
If it was the same thing, say Michael Jordan was in that helicopter, he's still the age he is, whatever he is, 52 or whatever, how old he is. If it's him in that helicopter, it's not. It's still a huge story. It's still a sad thing, but I don't think games are being canceled or even talked about being canceled. I think, yes, it's a big.
Well, they ain't cancel no games. They just canceled the Laker Clipper game.
Well, they wouldn't cancel the Chicago Bulls game.
Bulls are playing right now.
I'm saying they wouldn't cancel it if it was Mike in that helicopter yesterday. Kobe, it's a bigger story because he was
the players are right down. They played with Kobe.
He was way more involved than Michael had ever been. Michael.
I don't think
my co-host is over here knocking over things on our bar that we're currently sitting at.
Kobe played with a lot of players that are still in the NBA. Jordan's removed from that.
Way far removed, not only from the league though. Jordan owns his own team. Yeah. He ain't that far removed. He's part of the league.
Yeah, but he don't have the same connection that Kobe had with some of these current players in the mentorship.
Kobe's connection is what it is because he made it that way.
It'd be bigger. I think it'd be.
It would not be bigger. This is the hugest thing that could have happened. Besides, it's the hugest thing that could happen.
I think it's the most tragic for a legendary sports player to die that suddenly at that age. I can't think of anything comparable. You think about Roberto Clemente, but he wasn't a legendary player like Kobe, died in the plane crash. But there's never been legendary status type players that died just so suddenly before their time. In the way they went down, a helicopter crash.
You hear some of the stories, man. Some of the stories are phenomenal. Some of the stories are funny. Some of the stories are sad. I know I watched T-Mac interview today, and him and Kobe were pretty good friends, and they always watched their daughters and coach together. And he told a story about something Kobe said, which was crazy to me, but how he talked about how Kobe always said he wanted to be legendary and die young. That's probably young Kobe saying stuff like that.
People say that before they have kids.
Yeah, pre-marriage and before he had kids. Of course, he wanted to be around for his children.
Once you have kids, your whole goal in life is to see them until they're of age.
And there's just so many weird things. There's so many weird things going on out there. Like you're seeing the plane crash cartoon thing that came out 8 years ago. Someone replayed that and retweeted it. And social media is so terrible when it comes to things like this because everyone's so insensitive. Like everybody wants to get that reaction, that like, and when you say terrible things,
that retweet.
Yeah, that retweet or that World Star put this up. Is this person tripping? And he's tagged on it. And now he gets 10,000 more followers, and he already had 200. Whatever. It's always someone's always searching, but it's a tragic thing, and there's no reason why anyone should be making light out of it. Like I said, I'd be lying if I sat here and said I was a fan, because I wasn't necessarily a fan. I respected his talent. I respected his talent. I respected his work ethic because he worked harder than anyone I've ever seen. But the reason why I didn't like him as a basketball player because he was so good.
I respected. He was one of the most clutch players I ever seen. So I give him that. But I didn't feel like he always made players around him better.
He didn't have to really though. He made himself better.
There were some dark days in L.A. when he was there.
Yes, there was some dark. There was also some dark days in Chicago. There was some dark days in Cleveland.
There were never no dark days when Jordan was there.
Jordan didn't win the chip his first year in the league. There was some dark days in there.
They were still playoff teams, but that was before Jordan.
What about the 3 years that Jordan was there?
Kobe was Kobe, and they were losing. Once Jordan started winning, he never stopped winning
until he decided to play baseball.
No, he came back.
But we'll get back to that. Yo, we gotta pay some bills quick. We gotta get off. We have to go shoot the commercial. You are watching us live. Watching us live. We are on Sports Talk channel. Please tune in. We'll be right back. We are back on Sports Talk channel. You are listening to us on Sports Talk channel. We have 1/3 of the Opinionated Facts boys in the building. We have that 0.1. That 0.1% S. Rude. Is it S. Rude? Samar. What is it?
I'm whatever the people want to call me.
The people don't even know you.
Oh, they gonna know. They gonna learn today. That's fine, man.
That's fine. So I'm your host today. I'm Red, and we were just talking before we went on break about MJ, and he's such an advocate for MJ. I personally never liked Michael. I mean, I have a bunch of his shoes.
Everybody likes Mike.
Michael Jordan's name brand is way bigger than he is right now.
No.
And that wasn't the case with Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant, like I said, he was available. Anyone could reach out to him. He had a relationship with a bunch of people.
He just retired 3 years ago.
I mean, 2016. 2020. It's a little over 3 years now.
I think he was 38 when he retired.
But he's still reachable is my point. People he's an advocate for girls basketball. And he's well known in that world. He's done a lot for current players in the NBA, former players in the NBA.
He mentors some players, but I'm not going to be prisoner of the moment. Kobe's Kobe. He's legendary. He's top 5. You can't argue none of that.
We're talking about outside of basketball.
Yeah.
This is his legacy.
He was hitting his own. He was getting into a second career. He was doing it well. He won the Oscar. He changed his perception because Kobe was always known as an asshole. No, there's no way around it. Kobe was an asshole, man.
I think the Mamba mentality had a way of it.
Yeah, and now in his second career as being a father, a filmmaker, he was getting a new personality. He was being accepted for something different than he was as a basketball player. I
think the legacy of him outside of basketball was on his way to being greater.
It was. They were saying that he was on to a second career was going to be as great as any other of the famous athletes on his second career.
And his pride and joy, Gigi, man, she was well on her way to potentially being a star. I mean, she's next. I seen the hashtag today. It said Mambacita, but that was pretty creative. Like she was about to be. People think she was it. Like he even thought.
That's the hardest part of the story. Every time I think about it, that's what bothered me yesterday was Gianna.
That was the toughest
It's
part.
not because she was going to be a good ball player, but just somebody's daughter. She has sisters that their lives are forever changed.
Everybody's lives. L.A. When I'm going, I'll be in L.A. actually here in the next 3 weeks. We're actually going to a Lakers game, so I know it's going to be a different time. I mean, there won't be Hill in 3 weeks. It's not something that's going to be done and over with. So I know by the time I get out there, it'll still be something that's ongoing. And, we pray for the people of L.A. We pray for the Lakers organization. My brother don't really pray at all, but I'm praying.
Whoa. Don't put that on wax.
I'm praying for you guys.
I pray every day.
Nah, he prays for Jordan. Like I said, Jordan brand is way bigger than Jordan's
name. You
name.
Can't put that kind of stuff out there.
I can, and I will. I wanted to ask you a question because I feel like what I go through silently. At my job, I'll get something like a family member passes away, God forbid, or anything like that. You get time off. You get 5 days, whatever it is, and a funeral day, or whatever it may be at any company that you work for. The Lakers canceled Tuesday's game. Now they're playing the Clippers, so it would have been an all LA type theme. Do you agree with them canceling the game?
I don't think they should have canceled it because it's a good scenario. It's for the sad situation is for the Lakers. Two LA teams are playing each other. But the people that had connections to them, we can't relate to. You got to think about if somebody close to you die or one of your best friends die. It would be tough to go to work. But sports has always been the place you go to get away from those problems. I feel like the players would have probably been the only time they didn't think about it in the last 24 hours if they would have stepped on that court and played basketball. But I'm not going to speak for people going through tragedy that I can't relate to. The Lakers, it seemed like the Lakers didn't want to play. They were negotiating for hours, supposedly, and the Clippers honored the Lakers' wishes to cancel the game. So the NBA wanted to play, Clippers wanted to play. It seemed like the Lakers didn't want to play, which is understandable. They're the closest ones to Kobe, so it makes sense.
I mean, everyone in that building,
but Kobe played for the Lakers. He was around the I don't call it program for professional, but he was around the team a lot. He still goes to practices, still goes to games. Recently retired, still best friends with some of the people in the administrative. The owners, Jeannie Buss, seen him since he was 18 years old. So there's some deep connections there. So it's more understandable.
But you wouldn't have canceled if it was your call.
As a fan, I don't think it should have canceled. I think it would have been a good time for the players to get away from the thoughts of the tragedy. It would have been a good time for the fans to get away from the thoughts of the tragedy for a little bit to watch a highly competitive rivalry game. But there's bigger things in life than basketball, so I understand it. I'm not mad at it. I feel like I would have wanted to play. Kobe would have wanted to play.
I'll tell you how shook up some people were about this, and then we can get off of the topic. Like I said, I'm 1/3 of Opinionated Facts, and you're an honorary guest, and you're welcome on the show anytime, at any point. Like I said, Brandon Way, our other co-host, is under the weather. He's feeling under the weather, so he wasn't able to be on today. But our other host, Jack, he said he couldn't talk about it. It was too emotional for him.
You can relate to it, though.
And yeah, but at the end of the day, this is our job. Like, we were supposed to come on here and talk about it.
He said he couldn't do it, not because of Kobe, because of how Kobe died.
And it was also, he said, his relationship with death is not what it needs to be. That kind of stuff. He
didn't want to talk about it.
Yes, and he knew it would be a big topic of conversation on the show. And he's not a Kobe fan. He was always a Carmelo Anthony fan. And he was an Iverson fan, a LeBron fan. He was never necessarily a Kobe fan while Kobe played. So for him to take the news the way he did, and he doesn't live in LA, he lives in Pennsylvania, and for him not to necessarily be a fan, and for him to take the news to the point where he just can't talk about it. He can't be on the show and talk about it. I mean, I respect it because everyone handles everything differently.
I think we do have to mention how huge of a fan B-Way is of Kobe since the Lower Merion days.
Yes, B-Way. The reason why our co-host Brandon Way, like I said, feeling under the weather, the death of Kobe is not the reason why he's not here. The reason why he's a Laker fan is because of Kobe.
He followed Kobe when he got drafted.
Kobe when he got drafted.
He was a fan of Kobe. We lived pretty close to where Kobe played high school basketball at, in the suburbs of Philadelphia. So he was a fan since, Kobe took Brandy to the prom. But shame he couldn't be here to talk about that.
Yeah, so he will be back, and I'm sure he'll give his take on it when he gets better. And he really wanted to be here, but he just could not muster up the strength to do so, and that is super fine. Traveling by helicopter. I mean, it's always been a way he traveled. He talked about it in
multiple platforms.
Yeah, he talked about it multiple times about how if I can make it here to there in 15 minutes, why would I jump in the vehicle and take an hour and a half when I could spend getting back here and potentially picking up my daughters from school and spending those 20 minutes in the car with them on the ride because I'm always on the road. It's a great point. I mean, I don't know if there's
nothing wrong with flying by helicopter because we had one accident.
You don't
and
expect
the plane was fine. They're just saying it isn't a question of the helicopter or any mechanical issue. It's the question of should they have been flying.
Yeah, should they have been up there? And that's just, I don't want to have that conversation. I don't know enough about it, but I just bringing it up as far as traveling by helicopter. I don't know if I could ever get used to it, but then again, I don't know if I would ever have the means to do so anyway.
Nah.
So
speaking of which, before we go off Kobe though, I just gotta say this out there to everybody out there sending out Kobe's alleged rape allegations on the day he passed away. I thought was sickening. That was the worst part besides the daughter. The news of the daughter passing, second to me, was everybody putting out one of the worst moments of somebody's life that was over 10 years ago, where he was never charged. I just think it's terrible. What kind of person does that on somebody?
When the news first broke, CNN had on some lady. I'm not going to say her name. It may be unfair to her. But she mentioned it. She came on. She said what she said about Kobe and how great of a player he was, and then she went on to say like he wasn't perfect, and then she mentioned the rape allegation. That was the first person I heard bring it up as he passed.
I wouldn't think you should mention it, but the people like the lady from the Washington Post that got suspended today, putting that she don't feel sorry for Kobe and putting out there all the articles from Boulder, Colorado when he had the rape allegations. from a lady who ended up dropping the charges and taking a civil settlement, and she had 8 different semens.
Well, I'm not talking about that. That's a terrible thing to bring up
I'm
right
just
now.
saying, they brought it up for Kobe.
Right. I think it was distasteful for the lady to mention it, and maybe she didn't want to just say all positive things and not mention. He did have a downside. He had some. Did have a slip up in his career, but he went on to do these amazing things. I don't know what her motive was. I don't know. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but you take one moment of somebody's life. We all have skeletons. I don't care who you are. We all done things you're probably not proud of in life. He lives on a different stage than we live on. But to bring up that he was an adulterer and an alleged rapist is just terrible. And they're probably going to do, and people like Ray Lewis die, and I don't know what kind of people think they need to bring up the worst part of somebody's life on the day they pass away. I just don't understand that way of thinking.
How about, and this is, I get, as media, we have a certain obligation and we want to be the first to break certain news, even if we're wrong. Like, even if people in the media are wrong about certain news, they want to be the first to break it. So that I think them breaking news is more, that they feel like is more important than it being accurate. So TMZ coming out with the report first and breaking the news, and before any family members even knew about the chopper even going down. I know the police department out in LA had an issue with that.
A lot of people did. They talk about boycott TMZ. It's an ethical thing. And from a business standpoint, you think about TMZ and breaking news. TMZ got cited all day on every channel. CNN, ESPN, this news is broke by TMZ. That's what you wanted. That's what you're in the business for. That's how you make your revenue. So it's hard to fault them for breaking the news, because if you wait 1 minute, somebody's going to break it online, somebody's going to break it somewhere, and then all of a sudden you're not breaking news anymore. But coming from a ethical standpoint is that you never want to break news of something tragic before the next of kin or family's notified. I'm a firefighter. We've seen people getting tragic things, and the media ask us questions, and we never give them no information, because you don't want family members finding out about tragic news from another source.
I agree. TMZ, they've always been pretty classless, though. I mean, them breaking the news wasn't a shocker to me, like, because they didn't wait for anyone to be notified. They wanted to be the first.
Yeah, that's what you do in the news business. And I'm sure it's a discussion. I don't know if they had a discussion at TMZ, because they're not that kind of news organization, but say CNN finds out, they got to consider that. And there's more liability for them. They have to be right.
Yeah.
TMZ doesn't necessarily have to be right.
They weren't always a legit media outlet either, but now they kind of are big. They're a big deal.
They're
now.
on the cusp of being a tabloid, but they actually do break news.
And they get a lot of information.
They get the video nobody gets, like Kareem Hunt, Ray Rice.
They get it all first. They do. It's amazing they get this thing till they get their hands on.
Well, the reason they're first is because they don't have that. They don't have that ethical line where it's like, can we do this out there? Can I put Ray Rice hitting his girlfriend out there? Can I put this video out there before it's confirmed that it's real video?
I mean, the thing is, they do break these stories, but then people break the same ones. It's like
only one person can break it. Everybody else is just reporting it. They broke it.
So you think CNN or somebody passes up on big major stories, and like rather than somebody else break that news and they just report on it?
The thing is, you get somebody like ABC, if they report that the 4 kids were on the plane, on the helicopter.
That was terrible.
And then they got to walk that back all day.
Yeah.
And how wrong they were to get called out.
And that's terrible.
And they're a reputable news source. If ABC says it, you're like, oh, man, it's a shame. TMZ says it's like, well, let's see if ESPN or ABC says it.
Yeah, because I didn't believe it until I seen it on ESPN.
Yeah,
like I said.
So TMZ has that leeway where they ain't always got to be right. They don't have the ethical standards that a true journalistic organization has.
All right, we got to take a break, pay some bills. You're listening to us on Sports Talk Channel. Stay tuned. And we are back on Sports Talk Channel. We were running down a lot of the scenes and situations and turmoil and the tragic sudden passing of one of the greats in the NBA history, Kobe Bryant, along with his daughter, along with 7 other people that, do not get overlooked. And I know we haven't talked about them, and it's just because we don't know a whole lot about anyone else.
One of them was a legendary baseball coach.
Exactly. I mean, I know that much, but I don't know. I've never heard of him personally. I don't know who he was. I know one of his daughters, I believe, played on the same team with Gigi. But other than that, like I said, we don't know a whole lot about any of the other survivors. Of, Kobe Bryant is the big story to us just because it's what we know. But doesn't take this to take away from the other people that were on board of that helicopter. But we do have a huge game coming on this Sunday. I don't know where you guys are going to be partying at. I don't know where we're going to be at. But I know it's Super Bowl Sunday coming. And I know people are excited. And I know we would love to get your take on that. We would love to hear your picks, who you're taking, what you think.
The first thing we got to talk about is
hold on. Let me stop before you go. So everyone knows he's a Raider fan. And the Kansas City Chiefs do play in his division. So if he's biased, you know why. I just broke it to you. But I want you to say what you were going to say.
No bias. I'm a referee. I always just call it how I see it.
Okay, let's go with what you want to say.
I was going, my mood is more light than this Kobe, but I couldn't really be myself in the Kobe topic. But Super Bowl's in Miami. Over under how many athletes get arrested or have a major scandal. So Miami gets you.
I was just recently in Miami, and it was a phenomenal place, but there was way too much going on. If you're an athlete, if you got money, there's a lot of things
something's going to go down for somebody.
You can get in some trouble down there.
Over under's 3.
And not only that, there's a bunch of rappers that live down there.
Yeah.
You add money with athletes, rappers, boats.
Hoes.
I'm not saying any other words than that. I got to be careful what we say.
Are we limited on these airways?
Yes, you are limited on these airways. So you got to be a little more careful what you say.
I heard you got to pay the tax down there, too, to the local gangs. Or they'll snatch your chain.
No, man, that's not true.
So they said.
That's probably Serbia. That's not like.
They're saying Gucci Mane.
What, he had to pay?
No, who was it? They said he got his chain back. They're saying if you don't get clearance.
Nah, that's not true.
Can't be down there flossing.
That's not true. I was down there by myself. I went anywhere I wanted to go.
Nobody know you.
Doesn't matter.
You ain't got to pay no tax.
I ended up I had the watches on, my chain on. I was at what do they call it? What's the place down there? It's like a sports bar / like a sports bar / like strip club.
Cleveland there?
No, it's like called Tootsie's or something.
I don't know.
I forget what it's called. But I was there, by myself, and I had the time of my life, man. I had any issues. There was a lot of stuff going on in the parking lot, but I just kept moving. And I just, it's a lot of trouble to get into. That's no question about it. I mean, there's a lot of people that have money. There's a lot of boats. There's a lot of expensive things floating around.
Scandalously dressed ladies.
Yeah, so there is some trouble to get into. I'm taking the unders. There's 0. I think people. Zero people get in trouble down there.
No way. First of all, people getting in trouble. This is the ones that come out in the public.
So you talking about like Robert Kraft's trouble?
That too. I'm talking about Shaden Sharp in the Super Bowl for Atlanta trouble.
That's not good. People probably don't know that story though.
Prostitutes at the Super Bowl?
Yeah, I mean, it's the Super Bowl though.
I know, so I'm saying
it's like a vacation. You're supposed to enjoy yourself. Area. Like you're supposed to go down there. Yeah, you're supposed to take care of business. But for that guy that's the 49th man on the roster, he's probably not going to see the field unless 3 people get hurt.
I'm not saying players that are going to play in the game. I think they're going to be a little smart. I'm talking about athletes that ain't playing in the game.
But they stars though. Sometimes the stars don't know.
Nah, I don't see guys getting in trouble no more that are going to play in the game. I think we're past that.
I wouldn't say we're past that. I see it.
We're not past it, but I think it's more unlikely.
Like, look at Chase Daniels. Like, he ain't past it. He was still getting in trouble with Ohio State. He was Chase Young. He was the biggest star up there.
You can't talk about 19-year-olds, 20-year-olds. They're going to do something. They're a little different.
People are going to do things, period.
While we're on that topic, though, you see Kawhi Leonard in the strip club?
With the hoodie up, he's the first person I ever seen in a New Balance hoodie.
That's how you knew it was him. You're like, it looked like that's Kawhi.
Yeah, it's definitely Kawhi. But he wasn't doing anything. He was just sitting there.
That's what Kawhi does.
It was strange.
Kawhi was doing what you thought Kawhi would do in the strip club.
Just sit there.
Just sit there and then tell a couple ones, say, what it do, baby? What it do?
Kawhi's a different. He's a different bird. He's a different breed.
He's a killer, though.
I mean, he is. I mean, what was he? He almost looked uncomfortable. Did he not? Did he look comfortable?
He looked like I thought Kawhi would look in the strip club.
He looks uncomfortable everywhere he goes.
Why's Kawhi's lips always look chapped?
He probably don't carry around no black chapstick.
We're way off topic. Super Bowl pick.
Super Bowl pick, yes.
I'm conflicted. I'm going Mahomes. My homies. But I'm hesitant because every Super Bowl I can think of with a top 5 offense versus a top 5 defense, defense has won. You got Ravens, Giants. Ravens won, but that was one of the greatest defenses of all time. But Raiders, Buccaneers, although they knew our offense, but Tampa Bay beat the Raiders.
No excuses.
The same defense. You see, the defenses historically beat the better offense. The Rams got shut down last year, and they were one of the best offenses last year. With a subpar, but Belichick's defense is always going to be with 2 weeks to plan. So historically, the better D has beat the better O. But I'm going to go with Andy Reid getting his first ring with Mahomes.
Oh, man. Everything, I'm an Eagle fan, and so, I want to ride with Big Red. I would love to ride with Andy. And I've been against the Niners all season. I haven't picked them. I highly doubt I picked them one time this year to win anything. I don't think they're that good, even though they look great at times. That defense looks like one of the best you'll ever see.
But the offense hasn't looked
Garoppolo don't look good at times. So he does enough just to get you your 17 points or 20 points, and that defense doesn't give up 20 points. So, you don't have any worries.
And I do think though the Chiefs D is playing much better, and they stopped the run. And if you stop the 49ers run, Jimmy's going to have to beat you. Jimmy's gotten it done in the Saints game, put up high 40s. When he's had to do it, he's done it.
But do you trust it in his hands if he has to do it? Do you trust Jimmy?
I like Jimmy. I think Jimmy's a baller. And all he does is win. I think he's like 20-3. 20.
He hasn't lost many games.
He don't lose many games. And people complained about last week, but if you're running the ball, you don't get stopped. You don't stop running the ball. So it had nothing to do with Jimmy. It had something to do with the Packers' run defense.
Well, I'm going to go because I'm probably picking this more with my heart because, like I said, I am an Andy Reid supporter.
If the weather is Miami weather, if you got 70 and sunny, does that change your out?
70 and sunny is better for Mahomes.
So I'm saying, you got Mahomes and 70 and sunny.
Oh, it don't rain much in Miami. For 10 seconds, maybe. It ain't like an all-day
so
thing.
if the weather's ideal, I feel like the Chiefs are going to be tough.
That defense is tough, though, so we'll see. It depends on what happens with the offensive line. If Mahomes gets the time, it ain't going to matter.
And plus, you have Sherman as a good corner, but he don't do well with them speed guys.
Oh, he can't. He ain't guarding Tyreek. He don't switch sides.
I say, but Tyreek, everybody, Markel Hardman, all those guys are fast.
I'm just
Sammy
saying.
Watkins.
Typically, your best corner follows around the best receiver.
Well, he never traveled. He didn't travel to Seattle.
He don't travel. He takes whoever's on his side.
And I don't have a problem with him not traveling. If you're good at what you do, you ain't got to be great somewhere else. Nadi Asamoah was a great man corner.
He played terrible he's hated in Philadelphia.
But he was a great man corner. He had long arms. He was tall for a corner. And he put hands on you. And he bump and run you. The Eagles put him in a cover 3 zone. And he looked like an below average cornerback.
Way below average.
Was, at the time, it was always who was better, Revis or Asamoah. He was a straight up man.
Very long.
No, the Eagles overpaid him, and he never looked comfortable with his back
he stole
pedal.
a lot of money from the people in Philadelphia.
He liked to bump. No, he didn't steal no money. He
stole money.
No.
He stole money. He definitely stole money.
No, when you make billions as owners, the players are allowed to make millions. I don't care how they perform.
Well,
he got paid for past practice. It ain't Nandi's fault that the coaches for the Eagles put him in something he didn't do his whole career.
He was terrible. If you're a corner, you're a corner. It don't matter if you play a zone. It don't matter if you play a zone defense. If a guy's on your side and you guard him.
Yeah, but you could be real average when you got a back pedal instead of bumping somebody and running stride for stride with them.
Even when he went to man-to-man, he was still terrible.
Man, Nandi was a lockdown, man. He shut the whole side of the field down when he was
I think that he just had people bamboozled in the West Coast.
Nah.
They don't get enough.
They
don't get enough sleep out there.
Nandi got right up in your grill. He put them long arms on you. He was a 6'1" corner. You don't see that very often. And
anyway, we're off topic. Super Bowl pick. Kansas City. You right? You're going with Kansas City. I'm going with Kansas City. No love for the 49ers.
No.
Me either.
And I'm a Raider fan. I don't like the Chiefs.
Yeah, I'm surprised by that.
I'm never biased. I just call a spade a spade.
We have more NFL news.
And I hate the Eagles, and I want to see Randy get it. I think Andy Reid is a Hall of Fame coach, but people try to keep him out because he ain't got the ring. I think he's a Hall of Fame coach today, but he's definitely in if he gets the ring this weekend.
Is he a Hall of Fame coach? 4
straight NFC championships with the Eagles. That's like saying Mark Levy's not a Super Bowl Hall of Fame coach with Buffalo because he never won the Super Bowl. Yeah. And now all those guys are in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I mean, Super Bowl, 4 straight Super Bowls is way different than 4 straight NFC titles, NFC championship appearances.
It is. I don't disagree with that, but I think Andy deserves to be in the Pro Bowl right now. But this will stamp him.
I don't. I mean, it's debatable. It's like that Carmelo Anthony.
It's only debatable because he ain't got the ring. He gets the ring, there's no debate.
Yeah, I think if he gets the ring, we can say about that. A lot of people, though.
I know, but
you can say that about Charles Barkley.
Andy Reid is Charles Barkley's a whole.
What about McNabb? Did he get in?
I don't think McNabb gets in. If
Why?
he had a ring, though.
You see what I'm saying? There should be glued.
I think, but Andy Reid has the Hall of Fame career already. So
why? Because he's been in the league a little bit longer after McNabb.
He's always won. He's won everywhere he went. He won with the Eagles nobody in the NFC East has won back to back since then. Since he ran the 4 straight, I don't think.
Eagles won it last year, I thought, and they won it again this year for the first time.
No. Last year the Cowboys won it.
Did they? I don't even remember.
Remember the Cowboys? Then they ended up getting upset.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. We want to know that. Anyway, well, we're both going AFC, Kansas City, Andy Reid, Mahomes, Super Bowl picks. So I guess no argument there. There is more football news, though. Phillip Rivers being done in L.A.
According to Jay Glazer, before the show started, he already moved to Florida. That's how he's done. He's going to be a free agent this offseason.
Good place for him to land.
Not with 9 kids. What is...
No.
Florida's tax... Well, he's going to save a lot of money going with them 9 chillings. Because California taxes is high as hell. And now he's going to a no state income tax.
What I'm saying is him moving to Florida, I'm thinking Miami. My thought process is he signs with Miami. I don't know that. I don't know Miami's goals or
I think it would be a good move for Miami, especially if they draft 2 and he's not fully healthy, to get a stopgap quarterback like Smith did for Mahomes. But if you're Phillip Rivers at the end of your career with no Super Bowl ring, why would you go there?
It don't make sense for him, no. I
don't think.
But is he going to a contender? Like, who's gonna? If you're a contender, you don't need a quarterback.
Well, there's some contenders that could use quarterbacks. The Titans are one.
Tannehill's going back.
I think Tannehill will. Who would you rather have?
Tannehill.
No.
The way he played that offense?
He looked good in the playoffs.
The way Tannehill played this year, or Phillip Rivers, I'd rather keep the guy that's already been there.
Yeah, but it's a small sample size. We know Tannehill is a decent quarterback, but he reminds me of Foles. Like, if I was Jacksonville, I never would have gave Foles $20 million because Foles wasn't good, but he had a nice little run. But all the tape says he's not good. So I'm not.
He only been one of the plays, but that was with St. Louis.
Now he played for the Chiefs. He wasn't good. He played for the Rams. He wasn't good. And he went back to Philly, and he was terrible to a 2-game playoff run. He came back.
He was a stud.
He had a hell of a run.
He was a stud.
So,
and then did it again the following year.
No. He started the season, and y'all was begging for Wentz to come back. He was terrible. They told Wentz to come back early from the injury, and they benched him. Wentz got hurt, and then Foles had another good playoff run. Fitzpatrick does the same thing, but he's not going to get you to the promised land for a whole season. And Foles looked terrible this year in Jacksonville. He got benched with an $80 million contract.
He got benched. He wasn't fully healthy. He should have never came back.
No, it was a collarbone. He was ready to go.
No, you're never really ready to go. You don't recover from those broken bones.
Well, he is who I thought he was.
Well, we're gonna see. I think Tannehill will do well in Tennessee if he stays. I don't think Phillip Rivers should be part of the plan there. I think Phillip Rivers.
What about Jacksonville? If you think you got the defense you got 2 years ago, and your only missing link is a quarterback with like DJ Clark.
Nah, your missing link is not just a quarterback.
If you feel your defense is still that good, the team that should have beat New England 2 years ago, which I thought they got robbed in that game, then you definitely, if you still feel that way, you think Rivers takes you over the top.
No, I don't. Rivers had a good team in L.A. and they couldn't win.
They were 11 or 12 win team 2 years ago. They had a bad year this year, and their running back held out. Melvin Gordon.
He held out, but he didn't make a difference when he came back.
Yeah, when you sit he wasn't built like that.
And
Last year, he
him,
was a
man.
monster.
We have Phillip Rivers is throwing picks in the end zone at the end of the game.
They said Tampa Bay wants him.
You got to be smart. Come on.
That's a playoff team. They're a playoff team if you take 15 picks away from Jameis, and you still would have 15.
Where does Jameis end up then? Let's say, all right, let's draw out the scenario. Phillip Rivers goes to Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay obviously is not going to have Jameis Winston back. Where does Jameis Winston land?
I'd take Jameis in Oakland.
In Oakland.
I would take Jameis with Gruden.
Over Carr.
It would be tough because of the contracts. I don't think you could do it. But Jameis is a talented quarterback.
I don't know. I'm shocked to even hear you say that.
That's what I'm saying. But I don't think the Raiders need to make us. You're going to Vegas. You got to go there and score points. Carr won't take the shot no more. Since he got that broken leg when he's an MVP candidate, he has not been the same quarterback. And I haven't missed a Raiders game since 2007. I've only missed one in over 20 years. And Carr won't take the shot. You see the film, guys are running wide open. He's Mr. Dink and Dunk.
Wow. Winston to Oakland.
And I might even say I want it. I just feel like I know Gruden would want a gunslinger. Gruden wants a gunslinger.
So, Rivers to Tampa Bay.
I don't think he goes to Tampa Bay, though.
That's down in Florida.
Well, he's in Florida.
He's in Florida
He
already.
was in Florida for a reason. He must have heard something.
Yeah, there's 3 teams in Florida. Like,
I don't think Dolphins are it, though. Unless he's playing for money. When you have 9 kids, you do play for money.
He don't need the money. He's rich.
When you have 9.
And he lives a different lifestyle.
He does live below his means.
Like, he's probably got all kinds of money stacked up.
Bolo ties don't cost that much.
Yeah, he don't have any boats, and he's not out there in boats, and he ain't buying boats and Bentleys.
He's a competitor, though. He probably wants to play still.
Oh, he definitely said he wants to play.
Plus, who wants to be home with 9 kids? Nobody want to be home with 9 kids. I don't care who you are.
If they're my children, I would love to be.
No, you would not. You would try to get away. You would have dad watching them.
No, I love the kids, man.
Not 9.
I don't.
Everybody loves their kids.
I would never have 9 kids.
All right, so
I won't even have 4.
Whatever you make right now, and somebody said, "I'll give you an extra $25,000 a year to be a stay-at-home dad," instead of go to work, what would you do?
I might take the 25.
Take your ass to work.
I might take the 25.
No, you wouldn't. Nobody wants to be a stay-at-home dad.
I might take the 25.
I have never been more tired than I was home with my daughter by herself, and she couldn't even walk. Dora raised my daughter.
No, when they can't walk, it's worse. When they're like, my son's age is 11, Brandon's 11.
Now they're self-sufficient.
He get to make his own bowl of cereal in the morning.
No, imagine with being at home with infants.
Look, I ain't trying to hear it, man. Look, we got some more stuff to get to quick. The Kansas fight. Jayhawks against Kansas State.
They overpenalized them. Too many games.
The Sosa got 12 game suspension.
Too many games.
He picked up a chair to hit somebody.
He didn't hit nobody. It's the Minority Report.
Because someone grabbed it out of his hand.
No, he was never going to hit nobody.
Hold on. Okay. If say he's attacking you. Say he's about to attack you. So you're looking at him.
This is valid.
No, listen. You're looking at him. You see him. You're like, oh, he's not with that chair. He picks it up. He puts it behind his head. And he puts it behind his head. So you already know when someone puts something behind their head, they're looking to swing it.
It's a deterrent.
He didn't just pick it up. He didn't have it up. He didn't have it in his hand.
A lot of people carry guns, but they don't want to shoot nobody.
But do they pull it out?
A lot of people pull, but don't shoot.
My point is, when you do that, you don't know what's going to happen.
You don't. It's a deterrent.
My point was, a lot of times when you pull out a gun, someone's not there to knock the gun out of your hand. Someone was there to knock the chair out of his hand.
Nobody knocked that chair. He tapped the back of it, and he just dropped it.
No, that person grabbed the back of the chair and pulled it from him. Or someone was getting their head clonked. The 12 games is a lot of games, yes, for something that he didn't do.
That's what all I'm saying. I'm not saying he didn't deserve to be suspended.
But it wasn't about what he didn't do. It was about what he was going to do.
You don't know
if he got the chance.
I'm not in the assuming business.
Look, I'm not assuming.
It's got to be beyond a reasonable doubt.
Facts tell you, if you pick up a chair, cock it back, then you're looking to your intent is to hurt someone, but maybe you didn't get the chance to.
When Bobby Knight threw that chair, he didn't pick it up and walk 4 steps and think about it. He threw that damn chair in the court. He had that chair. He walked like 3 steps. He didn't really cock it back. He had it over his head, and then he dropped it straight down over his head. Nobody pulled it out of his hand.
He didn't drop it. It was pulled from him.
It was barely tapped.
It was Poodle Frank.
I'm saying 12 games is too long.
12 games is too long.
Some people were saying she should suspend it for indefinitely for the rest of the season.
That was some NBA player saying that. A former NBA guy saying that.
If that was hockey, you would have got 5 minutes in the penalty box.
Yeah, but they want you to play hockey. They need the ratings.
That's terrible, man. I don't understand.
They need the ratings.
It's two different ways of justice, depending on what sport you play and what race you are, it seems like.
Like I said, look, he was going to hit someone with that chair.
These guys, they have these big football fights.
They save lives.
Before games, big college games, and nobody even misses a quarter.
The guy pulled the chair out of his hand, he saved lives that day.
No.
Whenever he said that on Few Good Men, what did he say on Few Good Men? I saved lives.
Look, those courtside chairs have a lot of padding. Nobody even would have been hurt.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if we weren't hurt or not. It was his intent behind it all.
I don't know his intent.
It was his intent. We wanted to get to the Maya Moore story, but we might have to handle that next week. We are starting to run out of time a little bit.
Real quick on Maya Moore. Only a female. Well, I don't want to get nobody in trouble.
So female, for her who know Maya Moore. Maya Moore is a former WNBA player. She has not retired, but she is missing her second consecutive season due to
social injustice, but mainly for a guy that's been locked up since he was 16 for a murder that the evidence does seem like he didn't do it. He's 39 now. He's been in jail a long time. He got 50 years. But you're going to give up your career and your prime for... It's not. Nobody even knows that she's doing it for that reason. They thought Maya Moore had a year out because she was just done.
Yeah, now we figured out this is why she's doing it. But we're going to touch on it more next week because we are running out of time. We should have got to it a little earlier, but we had to talk about the Kobe situation.
No star male athlete would do that.
No, but we're selfish. Men are selfish.
That's true.
That's why.
Maybe she needs.
She's not selfish. Anyway, we are here on Sports Talk Channel. We are glad to be with you. Our thoughts and prayers with mine or with the Kobe Bryant family and anyone that knows him and the fans of L.A. I appreciate you being here, Mr. S. Rude.
Mr. Ray Allen in the clutch.
Yeah, we appreciate you coming because we know we were down. I was just going to do a whole hour by myself, but luckily that didn't have to happen. So we will see you guys or talk to you guys next week. Hope you enjoyed the show. Peace.
Yo, it's your boy Jay coming from the Assist Podcast Show, letting y'all know that we will be on every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on sportstalkchannel.com from 8 to 9 o'clock. So tune in and see what we got to talk about. Also, if y'all tired of hearing us talk, it's also a lot of great acts that you can go listen to. So make sure y'all check them out 24/7.
If you're looking for a sports hosting show that gives you the flavor, that brings the energy, that isn't about
this or that, it ain't this or that,
then you've come to the right place.
I am that man, your man, the illustrious tour guide Cole Johnson.
Cole Sports!
7 a.m. Eastern, 4 a.m. Pacific, Monday through Saturday on SportsStarChannel.com. Cole Johnson here, Cole Sports. What can I say about this program? It has many segments. Going in, upon further review, Adult of the Week, and many other segments as well. This is a show that is for you. So join me, 7 a.m. Eastern, 4 a.m. Pacific, Monday through Saturday, SportsStarChannel.com. Cole Sports.
Hey, this is the franchise Shane Douglas, ECW's original World Heavyweight Champion. Right now, you're watching the #1 wrestling podcast on all of Long Island, Monty and the Pharaoh, right here. Don't miss it. That's your choice. Or get your ass franchised.
You've got the future Hall of Famer, that rocker, Marty Jannetty, and MJ in the house, and I'm sitting here with two more future Hall of Famers, Monty and the Pharaoh. We're doing that stuff and we gonna rock it.
Hey out there in TV and radio land, this is Mike Monty, one half of Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast, filmed and produced out of Village Connection Broadcasting every Thursday from 8:05 to 9 p.m. And we're excited as hell to tell you that we'll be on the Sports Talk channel Drive Time, 4 to 5. Catch us there.
Good news, mixed martial arts fans. Your favorite MMA podcast is now right here on Sports Talk Channel. Each week, join me, Aaron Weinbaum, as I pick the most anticipated fights from the UFC, Bellator, and more. Remember, I'm a hardcore MMA fight fan, just like you. Miss some of the action? Go to AaronSaysWhat.com, click on the MMA Fight Picks tab, and find your favorite way to catch up.
Yo, come check us out. It's Coach G from The Assist. Let you know you can tune in to us at The Assist every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at sportstalkchannel.com from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern. We're going to give you that real spill, keeping it to you raw. Also, if you don't want to hear from me, come check out our other squad, 24/7 round the clock. We kicking it to you real spill, baby.
Hey, welcome to The Bench. Do you want the livest and funniest sports talk entertainment? Well, have I got something for you. Join me, Lise Winnie, and Terry Little, the Guru, on the Benchwarmers show on the Sports Talk channel on Spreaker each and every Tuesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard. So you can get your sports talk with a big dose of comedy all the way from the bench. It's the Benchwarmers show, benches.
Hey, this is the franchise Shane Douglas, ECW's original World Heavyweight Champion. Right now, you're watching the #1 wrestling podcast on all of Long Island, Monty and the Pharaoh, right here. Don't miss it. That's your choice. Or get your ass franchised.
You've got the future Hall of Famer, that rocker, Marty Jannetty, and MJ in the house, and I'm sitting here with two more future Hall of Famers, Monty and the Pharaoh. We're doing that stuff and we gonna rock it.
Do you like college football? Of course you do. Do you like college basketball? Of course you do. Do you like the NFL? And do you like in-depth coverage on a lot of other things like basketball, pro wrestling? Of course you do! Check us out at the Playmakers Blog Podcast, featuring Darnell the Playmaker Solins and yours truly, Dallas Glenn. We're on iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and now SportsTalkChannel.com.
If you want sports news that's real, if you want sports brought to you with passion and excitement, then tune into Championship Circle, found on Spotify, iTunes, SportsTalkChannel.com, and any other sports platform, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time with your host, Cordell Bowser. Check it out. Championship Circle. Sports real and raw.
Yo, come check us out. It's Coach G from The Assist. Let you know you can tune in to us at The Assist every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at sportstalkchannel.com from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern. We're going to give you that real spill, keeping it to you raw. Also, if you don't want to hear from me, come check out our other squad, 24/7 round the clock. We kicking it to you real spill, baby.
If you want sports news that's real, if you want sports brought to you with passion and excitement, then tune into Championship Circle, found on Spotify, iTunes, SportsTalkChannel.com, and any other sports platform, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time with your host, Cordell Bowser. Check it out. Championship Circle. Sports real and raw.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Ben, a.k.a. BS3, from the Weekend Wrap-Up Show. And on this show, we recap the sports from the weekend, from Major League Baseball to UFC to swimming. Probably not. But it's a great show. We recap the sports, movies, whatever it may be from the weekend. Also, we have something special called the Benny Awards to the top performers of the weekend. And you can find this show on Sports Talk Channel.
Sports fans, there's finally a sports platform dedicated to everybody.
All right, so we are live here at the Benchwarmers show, or on the Benchwarmers show, rather, should I say. We have so much to talk about because we have the passing of a legend. So we're going to get into that. But before I do, I have to play the intro. But today has just, if you're looking for upbeat Lise,
not today.
You're not going to get that today. I'm just gonna tell you that now.
Not today.
Not today. But we gotta talk about it.
I'm at the bank making money, making moves. Machines with tools and drills making grooves. Missions impossible, that's lotsable. I'm upside down hanging like Tom Cruise.
All right, so if you have not been near television, you may not have heard that the NBA legend Kobe Bryant did perish today in a helicopter crash. Him and his 13-year-old daughter, Gigi. There were actually 9 people in total that actually perished in this helicopter crash, according to the LA Sheriff's Office. They are not disclosing who those individuals are because they have not notified next of kin. So there will be more to come. I've heard rumors about, Rick Fox, and Rick Fox was not on this plane. So, we got to stop putting people on this helicopter that weren't there. Rick Fox was not among the people who perished in this plane. However, I did hear that there may have been another coach.
Yeah, it was another coach on there.
Another coach on this helicopter. So what we want to do in order to honor what Kobe Bryant was and all his career is really to talk about Kobe Bryant and all the things he was able to accomplish in his amazing career in basketball. So I'm going to pass it over to the guru.
Man.
Guru, how did Kobe Bryant impact you just as a player growing up watching the Lakers and him just evolve?
It was rough for me. Because when I first got news of the passing, we were in the group text, and like we discussed off camera, the first thing I thought was this has got to be a hoax. You get those celebrity hoaxes all the time, so you just don't want to believe those, right? Once it was confirmed, I legit got a tear in my eye and a lump in my throat when I heard that. And there's so many memories. Being from North Carolina, and Kobe was drafted by the Charlotte Hornets, and Kobe was like, I ain't playing them. And so they did a draft day trade and traded him out to LA, and he spent 20 glorious years in LA. As a Hornet fan, I'm like, you steal. But he was amazing. Kobe Bryant was this discipline personified. His discipline was like MJ on the court. He was a magician. He did it all. But I was on Snowman in the Morning with Brian Snow, and he said that, and I told him, I think that everything that Kobe wanted to do in his life, he did it. He became an NBA. He was a high school star, NBA star, 6 championships, 3 gold medals, and all of that. He became the greatest thing that any one man could be as a father. And I'll say this: one of the things that pissed me off about all the coverage, CNN, I think, was the first news outlet.
TMZ.
No. CNN was the first one to say was to bring up his allegation or his accusation 7 years ago, and I'm like, this man he ain't even old yet.
Yeah,
man, you want to bring this up? We're talking about the legend that is Kobe Bryant. Are any of us perfect? No. Have we all made mistakes? Absolutely. But we're not talking about those things. We're talking about the man, what he did on the court, what he did off the court, him and Vanessa's foundation.
Yeah. They're
doing wonderful things. LA, my heart goes out to LA as a whole, because this just ripped a hole in LA's fabric with the losing of Kobe.
Bring up the things that happen outside of the court.
Just really crazy. Why
let's not do that. Let's stick with the 5-time NBA champion, the 2-time NBA Finals MVP, the 1-time NBA MVP. Let's stick with that. 18-time NBA All-Star. Let's stick with that. Because, the thing that impacted me the most is, as a mom, to see, not only, I couldn't imagine losing a child. I couldn't imagine what that's like. But to have found out that your husband and your daughter passed in a plane crash on social media.
Yeah, I can't even.
I couldn't imagine.
I can't even. I just can't. And my heart goes out to Vanessa, and his other two daughters that he leaves behind. And I tell you, legit, like I was darn near in tears earlier. Like, and I wasn't even I'm not even a Lakers fan like that. But I know people who are, and it was just it hit me like a ton of bricks because I want to accomplish everything that I want to in my life, and how I let some setbacks keep me from doing that. But this man, he was the epitome of when I was in the gym, you wasn't with me, what I'm saying, and he did it.
Right.
So he lived his life his way, and yes, we're mourning as a country as a whole, as a people, we're hurting. But please understand that Kobe Bryant lived his life, and that's the way. There's so many lessons that we can take from it. Let's live our life. Let's not let any grudges or ill will or whatever keep us from being who we can. This man was a 5-time NBA champion, one of the greatest Lakers to ever put on a uniform. You know what I'm saying? And it's hard. It's hard. Even sitting here talking about it, I'm choked up because it's like gone too soon. He's 41. I'm 44. So it's hard. It's hard. But him and his babies, yeah, that's rough.
Yeah,
that's rough.
I think that's what did it for me.
Yeah.
Not only that we lost Kobe in such an untimely manner, but I think it was also the fact that his daughter was on that plane or that helicopter. And so I don't know, but what was the best memory you have, like, or the best game that you can remember that Kobe had, like of all time that you can remember?
When he scored 81. I mean, he scored them 81 points.
Benchwarmers will be back after these messages. The show will resume. Thank you for tuning in.
Thanks, baby. That, and when he did it he scored, I think it was 60 something in Madison Square Garden. 81 points. His final game was one that I watched. I normally didn't watch Laker games like that, but I watched his final game where he scored 60. And it was just the tribute. He picked up the mic and he said his piece. And he said, "Mamba out." He dropped that mic and he walked away, and like it was, it was okay. So he did it his way. He was like Frank Sinatra. He did it his way.
I mean, and that's just who Kobe was. Like, Kobe just was always this very quiet storm, this dominating force on the Lakers. I would say probably when he went up against Michael Jordan. So back in March, what was it, like 2003? Back then, I think Michael Jordan was on the Wizards.
Yep.
He outperformed Michael Jordan, with those 55 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 steals. Like, it was Kobe's moment. And I think that, to me, was the best game that I can remember of Kobe. Of course, his last game, but for him to take a legend, and then show, it was like the transition of power.
Yeah.
It was like passing of the baton. Like, okay, here's this legend here, and I'm kind of like in the Staples Center,
I mean, because when he came into the league, though, that was his destiny. He was the heir apparent. That was always his thing. And so when that game happened, and he took the mantle at that point. I mean, so it was destiny fulfilled. With Michael and MJ, even though MJ was at the tail end of his career, matters not. The torch was still passed, and he fulfilled everything he said he was going to, that he set out to do. Championships, the gold medals. I mean, I am proud And I'm not even, like I said, again, I repeat, I'm not a Lakers fan at all, but I am proud of him as a man to accomplish his dreams and his destiny. There are a lot of men, I'm speaking to myself as well, that have allowed life to stop me from being great. So even though this is tragic, let us remember that we still have a destiny and we still have goals to realize, and we can't allow things to stop us. Like I said before, Kobe lived his life. He lived it well. He did it just the way he wanted to. Why can't we live our life like that? Kobe got his flowers while he was living. When he did his last year in the NBA, he did his tour. The people loved him. So it should be, like I said, even though it's tragic, there should be a celebration for this man's life because he made a contribution to the community more than basketball.
He did, and I think that we'll see him. He'll definitely be a Hall of Famer.
Oh yeah, first ballot. It's not even gonna be a.
I think he isn't he close. Isn't he up for it?
I'm not sure. I think he hasn't been retired long enough. He only retired in 16. You got to be retired a certain number of years before you can be considered, I think
he's eligible in like 2 years or something or 2 weeks. I'm sorry. I think he's eligible in 2 weeks.
Really?
I think so. Yeah.
I mean, well, he'll get that easy. He'll get that easy.
Yeah, and it's not even just because he passed. I think that he'll get it because he deserved it.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think nobody would ever question that or would ever doubt his Hall of Fame status because of his stats. I mean, he did it with Shaq, did it without Shaq. I mean, he got his stuff. Kobe was the man. I remember watching the game where he tore his Achilles. That was a hard injury to watch, even though it seemed simple, but that was a tough injury. And his comeback from that, and he's the epitome of what most men should want to strive for, because he did it. Everything he set out, he did it.
Yeah, and he's been giving. So Kobe, he gave $1 million to build a museum of African American history.
Yep.
So he's been doing things outside. Because the last thing I remember seeing Kobe, he was on The View, and it was a little boy on there. I think he may have been sick or had cancer or something like that. And Kobe came on and he signed. Like, that's the last thing I remember Kobe doing.
Yeah, he always did that.
Yeah, and so I mean, it's just one of those things where things don't usually shock me, but this shocked me.
Yeah. I was telling my wife that earlier today. I was like, when a celebrity pass, it's a celebrity pass. That's what happens in life. People live, they die. But this one, and I'm sure that everybody who's watching and listening can agree and attest to, this one stung a little bit. This one stung a lot, actually.
It did. I'm at a loss for words, and if you know me,
that's not the case.
That is not the case.
Yeah.
Like I said, you're not going to get the upbeat least today. Usually, I'm a jokester. I joke all day, every day. But it just took something out of me. I think, like I said, just being a mom and a wife, to have to put myself in the feelings of Vanessa.
Yeah. Just for a moment, they gave me pause. I mean, I'm a father. I mean, so I can only imagine what a mother feels. And to get that phone call, they claim LA County claim they haven't notified the
next
people yet. And, I saw that press conference a little while ago before we came on. But imagine getting that phone call. We're sorry to have to inform you.
Like I said, I couldn't imagine getting that. But like I said, he's a legend in every sense of the word. I know that LeBron James just passed him, but it's so surreal to me.
It does. It is surreal. Very surreal.
Yeah, and to see all the celebrities and the outpouring of this, like, the respect that he had. Benchwarmers will resume after these messages. Thank you for tuning in. Benchwarmers is going to resume now. And I think that says a lot about what he was able to do for the game. So it's not even just who he was as a man, but what he was actually able to do for the game. And you go back and look at his stats, you go back and look at the games that he played, you know, from just in every sense of the word.
Yeah. Just an amazing man, an amazing player, an amazing father. He will be missed.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so let me go ahead and give my shout out and RIP to Kobe, Gigi. My prayers go out to Vanessa, the family, and everybody who was close to Kobe. This is a hole that won't be filled for a long time. But in this lesson, get this: let's live our life. You know, let's go get it. Whatever your goal is and your dream is, let's go get it. That's all.
And he said it. He was like, life is too short.
Yeah, life's too short.
And he said, you got to keep pushing, you got to keep moving on, and you got to keep smiling. And those were his actual words.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, in the words of Kobe, rest in peace to a legend. Rest easy. Rest in peace to Gigi.
Yep.
My condolences go out to Vanessa and their entire family and all of his friends. My condolences. Like I said, this one hurt.
Yeah, this one stung a bit.
This hurt
a lot of bit, actually.
Yeah.
So this is what I want. This is what I want us to do. At least if it's not a thing here. Let me get my stuff here. Right now, before we get into any other topics on the Benchwarmers tonight, thank you guys for joining and listening. Whoever's listening to us, I want to do the shot clock violation. We're going to do 24 seconds of silence, and we're going to start that, right now. All right. GG. Rest in peace. All right.
So,
let's get it.
Yes. Okay. So the next week we're gonna have to move on to another topic that actually happened today, which was the Pro Bowl.
Yeah, I saw that garbage.
Yeah, I'm not a big Pro Bowl watcher.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, it's a game, but it's not really a game. You know what I mean? Like, it's more like a trophy. But I think if anybody takes anything from this, consolation prize, is Lamar Jackson, who had a really good showing today. He had 2 touchdowns. I mean, he did have 1 interception. He threw for 185 yards. He didn't run very much, so most of these yards were gone in the air. I think he ran maybe twice.
Right.
So he completed 16 of 23 attempts, had an amazing showing. So did Deshaun Watson, came out also. He had 1 touchdown, 1 interception. What did we learn from, let me say this. Did we learn anything from the Pro Bowl?
This is what I learned from the Pro Bowl, and I learned this lesson every single year. The game is actually unnecessary to me. I just don't think we need it.
Okay.
Just like the preseason. I don't think we need it. I mean, like, what's the point?
I mean, the Pro Bowl, maybe. The preseason, I don't know.
Yeah, no. Pro Bowl, I mean, if I myself
gives you an opportunity. So if you not a starter, I think it gives you a shot to be on a team.
It's
so
a
I think
consolation prize. It's just like you said about the Pro Bowl. It's a consolation prize. Listen, all they got to do, all the NFL has to do, is to send these guys certificates in the mail, like they did the kids in the 5th grade. Thank you for participating. Here's your medal. That's kind of what I'm saying. The Pro Bowl is actually not necessary. So think about this for a second.
Okay.
If Lamar Jackson, who is a pride and joy of Baltimore,
he is baby Yoda.
Baby Yoda, yeah. Now think about this. Had he ran in this game and tore ACL,
don't you say that?
I'm just saying, things happen. And Lord forbid, it's over now, but he made it through. But I'm just saying, had he gotten this game and tore an ACL, the fans of Baltimore will be pissed off at the Pro Bowl folks, right? Because he hadn't been this, So I just really believe the Pro Bowl is unnecessary. Because everybody on the Pro Bowl roster is a star, so I can't say give the third stringers a chance to play. But
the third string was Ryan Tannehill on, if I'm not mistaken, on the AFC
side.
On the AFC side. So I mean, not really. Yeah, I mean they're all starters and they're all right.
It's unnecessary. It's unneeded. Nobody. No, I don't. I've never bought into the Pro Bowl. They will buy into the Pro Bowl. They had some ugly uniforms. They kept their helmets.
I don't know, but I mean, Russell Wilson, he gave up his slot to Drew Brees, his starter position to Drew Brees, and he allowed Drew Brees to start. I mean, that was awesome. They both threw 4 touchdowns. So just to kind of run through some of the statistics for it, Russell Wilson, he had 78 yards, 1 touchdown. He actually attempted 11. He completed 5. Drew Brees attempted 7. He completed 4. He had 95 yards, 1 touchdown. Actually, Kirk Cousins. Yes, Kirk Cousins. Threw for 181 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. He attempted 22 and he completed 13.
Listen, you can shoot me stats all day about this Pro Bowl. It's just, for me, it was a waste of my eyes burned the whole time I watched it. Like, I can't. Let me turn this. I think I put it on. I think I ended up putting it on Endgame or Cars or something, just so I could not watch the Pro Bowl. Oh my god!
AFC won. If you didn't watch it, it was 38-33. I guess we didn't learn anything new from this. I think, to me, it just kind of cemented Lamar Jackson as MVP. So I think of anything, if we learn, is Lamar Jackson is going to be the MVP of the league.
Spoken like a true Ravens fan. Listen,
we're going to talk about that too. So that's the next thing we're going to.
Let me ask this.
Okay.
The winner of the Pro Bowl. What are the perks? What are the benefits?
They get a little change.
No, that's about it. I mean, because if you look at the NHL, you look at
bragging rights.
Not really bragging rights, but the winner of gets a home field advantage or whatever during the playoffs. Like
no, I mean in the NFL, it's bragging rights.
Oh yeah, well that too. But if that's it, bragging rights. So like in the MLB, like in the baseball, if you go to if the NL or the AL wins the not Hall of Fame, the All-Star game. I can't talk today. It's all messed up. But if they win the All-Star game, they have home field advantage during the playoffs or the World Series. And one of them, they get a home field advantage. But that happens in the NHL too.
Yeah, but I mean, the 2 NFL teams, like, they get. I think the winner gets a bonus of $70,000, and the player of the losing team gets $35,000. That's not. I mean, that's a damn good benefit to me.
I could taste the bag too. What I'm just saying, as far as the sport is concerned, I don't know. I just the Pro Bowl. I hated it.
Hated it.
3 snaps in the Z formation. I just never really cared for them. I never really cared for the football.
I mean, I agree with you. It was kind of. I'm not a big Pro Bowl watcher. Like I said, it's not. They're not going to play hard because they don't want to tear an ACL,
right?
Or anything else. Like they're not there to get injured, and that's why you didn't see Lamar Jackson run. But I think he ran like 6 times. Like that's all you're going to see because they're not going to want their top player to get injured at all.
No, man. Let him get hurt, baby. It'll be the second coming if that boy got hurt. I'm telling you. No.
Yeah, and I mean, and even the Kansas City Chiefs and San Francisco 49ers, they're going to get a little change too. So, for this Pro Bowl, or squaring off in the Super Bowl, they're going to get, what, $124,000, and the losing team will get $62,000. So,
yeah,
it's even lucrative for the teams in the Super Bowl. So, they're probably not going to get rid of it because the players are they're going to throw a fit.
Yeah.
If they get rid of it, they're going to toss a fit. Like just
I guess they have to have an all-star game of some sort or whatever.
They do. But speaking of MVP, because you said spoken like a true Ravens fan, if Lamar Jackson is not your NFL MVP, then who is?
Russell Wilson.
Russell Wilson. Yeah. Why?
But I think he had a stellar season.
Okay.
I think he was a couple of plays away from taking Seattle to the NFC Championship game, but Lamar just had a more stellar of a season. But
isn't it the point? The person who has the best regular season, should be the MVP.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean, so Lamar's going to get regular season. I just really believe that he's going to win it. It'll be by sure happenstance or pure dumb luck if he doesn't.
Okay.
But if I had to pick someone else to win the MVP outside of Lamar, it'll be Russell. Because I don't think nobody else had a better season than Russell. Outside Lamar.
Okay. I mean, my homeboy is in. Him easing season as well, and he had an injury, so he still has, numbers that kind of are very like a rival of people that played all season. So we're not gonna throw my homeboy completely out of the loop. I mean, I mean, it's not a question. Like Lamar Jackson is going to win MVP without a doubt.
Again, like a true Ravens fan. I mean, if you had a vote, it would be easy. But I think it's, there's some people out here that don't feel like Lamar Jackson is that dude. I think that he is. He's been that dude all season.
Well, if you look at the people that's betting on this, Lamar Jackson clearly on the spread is ahead of everybody.
I don't know, and Lamar is like, I mean, there's a lot of people, but see, Patrick Mahomes took a hit with the whole Twitter thing. With you remember the last week when, what did he say? It was on something he said on Twitter years ago.
Okay,
they brought it back up to make him out to be. I think it was George Zimmerman. I think it was somebody, but it was something controversial.
I don't think that matters because I mean, are we looking at stats?
Man, no. You know how this works. This is a popularity contest. Come on, this is MVP. That stats may have about 10% part of the formula, but we're talking about popularity here. I mean, you got Patrick Mahomes, who was the king of Kansas City.
Okay.
Who took a hit on Twitter.
Okay.
You got Lamar Jackson, who's the king of Baltimore and the surrounding area.
Okay.
You got Russell, who's the king of Seattle. I mean, so it just depends on who got all the votes. I can promise you, if they had all the votes in Kansas City, Patrick Mahomes win MVP, regardless of what kind of season he had. I'm just saying, it's a popularity contest.
But the players that don't. I mean, I just feel like it's Lamar Jackson. I think you saw it with people waiting to get jerseys. Okay.
No, are you saying that with bias, or are you just saying? Are you saying that like are you saying that?
I'm saying it without bias. I mean, even looking at the numbers of all of the people who are in the running for MVP, Russell Wilson, my homeboy, and Lamar Jackson, without a doubt, it's Lamar Jackson. Yes, Lamar Jackson had a poor exhibition in.
Yeah, that game was pretty bad. Yeah, it was pretty bad.
He has a poor record in the playoffs. Yeah, he had some numbers, but they were empty numbers. You can't throw for 60 times in a game and expect to win. That's just not what it is. But from the regular season, hands down. I know a lot of people say that he lost against, or he only threw 5 touchdowns against winning teams, but the Ravens played a lot of good teams, and he beat them all. So, I mean, that is not a good argument against Lamar Jackson anymore.
Right.
His season speaks for itself. He was able to bring down some of the greats. Mm-hmm. We won against people that a lot of the times people didn't think we could. Right. And we beat them.
Now, they lost what, 2 games? What was it? What was that? Well, 3.
3.
In the playoffs.
3, yeah.
So in the 2 games they lost in the regular season, how many points they lose by combined?
Well, we got blown. We don't count the Browns game. Okay. So that was a different. So the reason why we don't count the first Browns game is because that was a different team. Okay. We were getting our footing, and that doesn't count.
Weren't they undefeated at the time? Oh no.
No, we were 2-2. No. 2-1 when we lost against them, but it was a rough game. Like that one don't count.
Yeah, right. So let me just shout out Mike, who's in the comments right now. I don't know if you can see him, but Mike Buckhauser, who
should I put it up?
Yeah, you can step him on there because
Okay.
for him to say that Lamar Jackson deserves the MVP is saying a lot, because at the beginning of the season he said that Lamar Jackson was absolute trash. But he said that, this was his
I'll take it.
He said the only reason why I say that because they put Lamar Jackson in talks with like Montana and some of the greats. So he was saying in comparison to those guys, he was trash.
Okay.
Mike, stop it. You didn't like Lamar from the jump, and it's okay. Some folks don't.
Yeah, so we did lose by quite a bit. It was 25-40 when we lost against the Browns.
Ooh,
and stop it. And we lost against Kansas City. But we lost in Arrowhead.
Okay. That's what I'm saying again. Patrick, my homeboy.
And we lost what? No. We listen. Lamar Jackson, he deserves it. Hands down, he deserves the MVP. He was able to do what no other he single-handedly changed the conversation of running quarterback.
Right. He did do that.
He deserves it.
Yeah. And he broke all kind of records. He
did.
Michael Vick's record, right? I mean, Lamar, the only knock that I have on Lamar, I'm gonna be real with you. Can I be real with you for a minute?
You can be real with me.
The only knock I have on Lamar is that he will do something to his head. That's crazy. Them braids, he's too old for that. I'm just saying, how that feel?
I ain't knocking his hair. I love it, Lamar. I love it. You keep doing what you want to do. Shout
out to Lamar Jackson. I'm just saying.
Shout out to Lamar Jackson.
Get rid of them plaits, though.
You welcome here. You can wear any kind of plaits or braid you want on this platform. I'm just saying. Even though he says because a running quarterback will never do well in the postseason, but that's saying a lot from a Kansas City, because Patrick Mahomes sort of is in the same bloodline.
Yeah, he's in the same vein. That's for sure.
He's in the same bloodline. Yeah, he's in the same bloodline. So I hope you got. And I'm rooting for Kansas City.
I'm not.
I'm rooting for Kansas City, but like I said, I think the 49ers pull this out. I just feel like with their defense, when you look at the defense, and it looks like Kansas City has given up more yards to tight ends this season. I don't see it.
Yeah,
I don't see it. I think Kittle will have a big game. I don't see it. I'm sorry. I'm hoping for it for Mahomesy, because Mahomesy, that's my boy.
You don't get his boy. It's Mahomey.
Yeah, that's my homeboy, Mahomesy. He's my dude. He like a little brother to me.
He was a 4.8, but he's a running quarterback. I mean, he's a running quarterback not by the speed, but
right?
Simply by what he does. I mean, he does run. Him running a 4.8 don't mean jack. I ran a 5.7 in the 40 when I was in high school. Didn't mean I was a running back. I was a fullback.
I would have loved to have seen that.
No, you wouldn't. It was
sad.
I would. No.
I would have loved to have seen it.
No, I was a
Chris
Chris Berman.
Footage? I'm gonna Google it. What high school
footage.
did you go to?
No footage. Because it wasn't. Girl, we were black and white back then.
I don't care if it looks like. I don't care what it looks like. If it looks like the first Mickey, I'm gonna find it.
It's the film wheel, and it's that black and white. You don't want to see that.
I do. But speaking of quarterbacks, is Eli Manning a Hall of Famer?
Yes.
Okay. Wait a minute. Let's talk. Bring in another Raven. So if Eli Manning is a Hall of Famer, is Joe Flacco also a Hall of Famer?
Why not?
Then is everybody a Hall of Famer?
No.
Okay, let's put everybody in there. Then Kirk Cousins, and let's put everybody in there. Then we're putting everybody in there.
We can't put everybody in there.
We're gonna put everybody in there.
No.
Yeah, we are.
I think Eli, he's gonna be a Hall of Famer because he's a Manning. Again, it goes back to what I said earlier. This is a popularity contest. As soon as his name hit the ballot, I promise you, they'll vote him in because he's a Manning.
Okay.
He'll be a third generation Hall of Famer. Isn't Archie a Hall of Famer? Archie's not a Hall of Famer? I think
Archie is a Hall of Famer, yeah.
And then Peyton is definitely going to be a Hall of Famer.
Oh, no, yeah, Peyton. Yeah.
And then you put Eli in there.
He's the best of all time. Like, come on now. Like, I would say Peyton is one of the best of all time, of course.
With his big head.
Leave him alone. It doesn't matter how big. It doesn't matter how big his head is.
Discount double check.
And we're talking about his cranium.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
He gave his mama fits when she had him. I promise. That head is for real.
Stop.
Allegedly.
Stop.
Just saying.
Allegedly. But what I will say is I don't know. I don't know. Is it about winning? Because the only thing I really hear about Eli Manning that puts him in the running of a Hall of Famer is the fact that he won 2 Super Bowls. Is that enough? Is that enough?
It depends on who for me, yes. If I was a Hall of Fame voter, yeah, I'd vote him in. Yeah, I would. Because he had an illustrious career until New York went down, right?
Okay.
And then once, what's the coach? I can't think of his name right now. What was the coach's name?
What coach are you referring
the Giants.
to? The coach now?
No, old school coach.
Now I'm confused.
Why is his name eludes me right now? The mean one.
Joe Judd?
Who?
Who are you talking about?
The coach for the Giants.
Which coach?
The old school coach. I can't think of his name.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it eludes me. Who's the coach now?
Joe Judd.
Who's the coach before him?
Is it no? You talking about when they won the championship?
Mm-hmm.
I can't think of his name. Tom
Coughlin. That's it, dude. Yeah, that's him. So he was under Tom Coughlin for the longest time. So he kind of kept it. Tom Coughlin to Eli Manning was Belichick to Brady. That's kind of how it was. They were that type shit. Thank you, Mike. 30 seconds late, but it's okay. We got you. But,
we got it. We a little late, but we got it.
But he ran a type ship. He never had any kind of. He had some down years, but he came through in the clutch. So if you look at all the Hall of Famers that are in the Hall of Fame, they came through in the clutch. They were big time stars, whatever. I think Eli fits the bill. I'm not saying that he's a unanimous Hall of Famer. I'm not saying that.
Okay.
I think that he'll get in by the skin of his butt cheeks, but I'm just saying
he's getting in there.
He's getting in the Hall of Fame because that name Manning. I don't care what nobody say to you. That name Manning carries a lot of weight in the NFL. So you're not going to have Archie and Peyton as a Hall of Famer, and his son won 2 Super Bowls. He don't get in the Hall of Fame. Not going to happen. Let's think about it logically.
Okay.
So he's gonna get in there. Like I said, he's not a unanimous, not by a long shot.
But he's gonna get in there.
He's gonna get in.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, if you say so. I mean, Mike does have a point, or Michael does have a point about the only other quarterback that has 2 Super Bowl wins and not in the Hall of Fame is Jim Puckett. So, yeah, he's probably going in there. Do I think he should go in there? No. And then if that's the case, like I said, you might as well put Joe in there. Joe got the stats. He has 1 Super Bowl. Phillip Rivers is definitely. He doesn't have. I think Phillip Rivers is a better quarterback.
But he would never sit inside of the Hall of Fame.
Phillip Rivers will never go to the Hall of Fame.
I don't think so. What have you done for me lately? He ain't done nothing. What's he done?
Phillip Rivers has taken that team to the playoffs.
When the last time?
I mean, it's not about the last time. It's overall. This is the Hall of Fame is not about yesterday. It's about your career.
Right. And how many playoff wins you got? How many Super Bowls you got?
We're C.
No.
But how many Super Bowls does Dan Marino have?
It doesn't matter, but well, it does matter.
It does matter.
But see, Dan Marino. See, you know what? I knew you were going to bring up Dan Marino, and Dan Marino is a different case. It's a different time. Think about it.
It is a different time. I agree with that. But if you look at Phillip Rivers' numbers, you're gonna tell me Phillip Rivers is not deserving. Eli Manning. If you're gonna put Eli Manning in the Hall of Fame, you might as well put Phillip Rivers in there because Eli Manning ruined Phillip Rivers' career.
Okay.
Period.
I agree with that. Yeah.
Phillip Rivers in New York. Maybe New York has 4 championships
instead of 2. Yeah, I agree with you there. I'm just
saying.
Tough market, different team. Tough market, different team.
I'm just saying. Like, let's not knock Phillip. Phillip is dope. Now let's talk about some more sad.
This is a
sad news. So, another Washington native. Delonte West and Antonio Brown. What can be done? Because a lot of people are urging the NBA to reach out to Delonte West. Is it up to the NBA in order to reach out to him to help him?
I don't think so. I heard that, or I read that somewhere where people are pleading the NBA to help Delonte, and I just no. I think now with Delonte is a different circumstance because he has a mental illness.
Okay.
So I think it's a different circumstance.
Yeah, I think he's bipolar.
Bipolar. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So it's a different.
We don't know that about Antonio. Well, okay, allegedly. We don't know what he got.
Right, we don't know. He's got something though.
He does because he tried it for the Saints. They said he caught everything that they threw at him, and he's still not working.
Right.
Like, you know that there's something wrong there because for a minute there, I thought that Antonio Brown might get back in the league.
He's done. Yeah.
I think maybe now because I think we're seeing all of the things that have happened, but I thought he might.
Yeah. I mean, that's Antonio Brown was one of those receivers that he could have been great. He could have been a Jerry Rice, a Larry Fitzgerald type great. You know what I'm saying? Chris Carter, Randy Moss, those folks. But I don't know if his ego got the best of him. I'm not really sure what happened to Antonio. But when he was in Pittsburgh, he was making, he was a receiver that can count on. He won championships in Pittsburgh. I mean, so I don't know what happened. I don't know. Antonio is on a level all by himself. Now, Delonte, I saw his video, the video of him on the side of the street, and it's a sad case.
Okay.
And I do believe that the NBA maybe should reach out, or somebody in Delonte's family should reach out to the NBA and be like, "Hey, could you help him?" But it's one of those things to where, as adults, we make our own choices. You hear that saying when you're coming up, "This is your bed, now lie in it." And I think he might have burnt some bridges. We don't know the whole story with Delonte. He might have burnt some bridges. I mean, with this whole thing with the rumor that he slept with LeBron's mommy, alleged. As I say rumor and alleged before I said it, but we don't really know. He could have got blackballed behind that. He could have. I mean, there's a lot of things that could happen. We just don't know. And so you see, the NBA has. I haven't heard anything about the NBA moving forward to try to help him, or the NFL helping Antonio. With Antonio, he made his bed. I mean, all the drama he caused with the Raiders, Pittsburgh. He goes to New England. He gets some stuff. You make that's why it's important that we make kind of the correct decisions as adults, because this stuff, it pays dividends or doesn't pay dividends depending on how it works out.
If you do what you do.
Yeah.
But speaking of NBA, so the NBA All-Star Game picks are out. Are you shocked by this for the third consecutive year? The Greek Freak, Giannis, and LeBron James will face off as team captains in the All-Star Game. Are you shocked by this lineup? Is there anything that stands out to you about this lineup?
The only thing that stands out to me is that Jimmy Butler didn't get picked as a starter.
Okay.
Outside of that, though, I think it's it's right. The people
that are there should be there.
Should be there.
Okay. Yeah, my boy.
Jimmy B, former Bull. So I'm a Bulls fan. So
I know you're a Bulls fan.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but my boy is there because he's a fun guy, and he's gonna have fun.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Come on, LBJ.
No, Kawhi. He's a fun guy. He's gonna be there.
That's another one. Do something to your head, boy. That you too old for that.
He has cornrows. What's wrong with cornrows? What's wrong with that?
How's Kawhi?
When you're playing as well as he's playing, you can braid all your edges out.
Come on. Yeah, Kawhi, he's playing some monster ball. I saw him duck over two guys the other night. I was like, ooh, he back. And so they can
braid your hair. Braid my hair. You can braid your hair. You can sit in between some other man's legs. He can braid your hair.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
When you're playing that good.
That's not going to happen. But listen, though, the only thing that he need now is just, remember, like you got baby girls. You put the little beads on the end.
I do have beads in my daughter's hair. Yes.
You get some of them, you straight. The Trail Sprewell style, baby. Let's put some beads in there, and with the aluminum foil at the ends. That's with the aluminum foil, the rubber band, so keep it falling out.
No, leave him alone. I think this is going to be team captain James. I just feel like this is just going to be James' year.
It's Giannis's year, man.
I think so. No. And I like Giannis. I do. I like Giannis a lot, but I just feel like it's gonna be LeBron. I think LeBron, his age is
because you're a LeBron fan. Of course you
I am. I'm not being biased. I'm just saying, like, I feel like LeBron is going. LeBron don't have a choice.
It's Giannis's year. I'm sorry. Here's a test for you though, real quick before we go.
You mean? Wait a minute. Are you saying he's gonna win? Are you talking about an NBA championship?
Who, Giannis? No.
Okay.
No. He's not going to win a championship.
This is LeBron's year.
He's not going to win a championship till he leaves Milwaukee. This is not going to happen in Milwaukee. He can just go ahead and forget about it. I mean, he got another year, I think, on his contract, and then he's a free agent. Or he's a free agent this summer.
I think he has another. I want to say he has
another year. Yeah,
but I don't know. That's tough. That you're saying that he won't win a championship with the
Bucks. Milwaukee. He won't. He won't. It's just like until Chicago. Just like, listen, I'm a Bulls fan. Listen,
I don't know about that.
If Chicago, he won't win a he'll win a championship in Milwaukee. He won't do it. Just like another championship would not come to Chicago until they rebuild that team. Not going to happen. Now,
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I'm not going
to. Now, I heard rumor, alleged, before I say that.
Okay.
That Steph Curry is trying to recruit him to Golden State.
I saw that.
Now, if you get him to Golden State, now the dynasty is back.
In Golden State?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's not going to happen. He's not going to Golden State.
Why not?
It's not going to happen.
Why not?
Yeah.
Money talks.
Money?
And believe me, they're going to throw it at him. They're going to throw it at him.
No, he's not. I think the NBA did something. Like, he's not going to Golden State.
Okay. Did they stop the super team rule in the NBA?
Yeah, I think they did. I was like, he's not going to Golden State.
Well, if they did that, then he won't go to Golden State.
I don't feel like
I can see him in San Antonio though. That'd be great.
Yeah, maybe San Antonio, but he's definitely not going to the Golden State Warriors. Like, I just don't even see him there. Just period.
Yeah,
like I just don't see it.
It might not happen. We'll see.
It's not. But let's talk about Zion, because Zion came back and he had an amazing showing.
That's my man.
Yeah, at least in 30 minutes, he put up 17 points in his debut. What did you learn? Anything new? Did anything stand out about you? Now, the Spurs did win this game. The Pelicans did not pull this out.
Mm-hmm.
But did anything stand out to you about Zion?
We're talking about Zion Williamson, baby. Now, I don't know if you know this or not, but my favorite basketball team is the Duke Blue
Pelicans.
Devils. It's the Duke Blue Devils. And Zion did his 1 year stint at Duke. So I saw him play his whole college career. Mm-hmm. And I just knew he was going to be trouble in the NBA. I mean, but he came out of high school trouble.
Okay.
Did 1 year in college is trouble. You know, it's a foregone conclusion if he can stay healthy.
I think that's going to be a problem. To me, okay, yes, he put up 22 points. 17 of those points happened within 3 minutes. Great. To me, I just feel like he's going to be injured. I think more, not saying that I want him to be injured or anything like that, but I feel like he's a little heavy.
Yeah. He plays with a lot of power and he's heavy. Yeah.
And I feel like that's going to be problematic in the NBA.
It could be.
It will be. Like it's not. It could be.
Well, I'm not. Well, I'm wishful thinking because I'm a Zion Williamson fan. I'm wishful thinking. But you're right. I think that it's going to be problematic. He's going to carry a lot of knee injuries.
Mm-hmm.
Because unless he lightens up his load, and it's a long NBA season. So. Yeah, but like I said, I'm wishful thinking, hoping that he can stay healthy all season. But I don't see it happening as much as I wanted to see it happen.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think so. But with the time he does play, though, he's in trouble.
I think so, and I think you're going to continue to see these big showings of Zion throughout the season. However, I think he's going to have some issues. That's just me.
Yeah,
I think he's just going to struggle a little bit until he gets into NBA prime or NBA shape.
Well, I think if the Pelicans do to Zion what the Clippers do for Kawhi and put him on load management, I think he can make it through the entire season. But if he plays every single night and by the time he gets to the All-Star break or the playoffs, if they make the playoffs, he's going to be wore out completely.
Yeah.
So I think if they put him on load management, why not?
If
they can put Kawhi skinny butt on load management, I'm sure they can put Zion big stuff on load management and say that. I think people give load management a hard time.
You just mentioned that last week with Kawhi, and you said you weren't too sure about it. You didn't like the load management.
Well,
now
I'm saying, for Kawhi, I think Kawhi is too young to be on load management. And he is.
How old is Zion?
Zion's younger than Kawhi.
Yeah.
No, what I'm saying is, okay. Let me clarify what I said last week. This week.
Okay.
What I mean by this is that I feel like the teams should incorporate load management for whoever. I mean, you have star players you want to preserve, especially if you are a contender. I mean, you look at Milwaukee, who is a contender out east. If you put Giannis on load management, you're going to preserve him all season. You get to the playoffs. I think it's not a bad thing. It's when you abuse it. It's when it gets tricky.
Okay.
So if you're playing a stretch of 4 or 5 games and you're playing, the basement teams in your schedule that week, and you put somebody on load management, that kind of makes sense because you're saving them for the higher tier teams. So load management, to me, to clarify from last week, isn't a bad thing if you don't abuse it.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, Zion's 19. So I don't know.
We also know that Zion is a little bit heavy. The New Orleans Pelicans,
because despite his hot fourth quarter run, he was kind of quiet. He didn't really do much.
He was tired. He was tired. I'm just saying. He's been out. He was out because of his injury. He didn't work out, allegedly. We don't know that.
Allegedly.
But he was tired. And that's what happens. I mean, so load management in that bad. But I think once he, like you said earlier, once he gets in NBA shape, he'll be fine. But
the
Pelicans as an organization, they know. They know what they got when they drafted him. They knew they was getting. So
I think, of course. Yeah, I think they knew what they were getting, but I mean, I don't know. Like I said, he really, besides that fourth quarter stretch, really his name mentioned. So, I mean, him being tired, that doesn't make sense because
he didn't
play and he didn't really shine until the fourth quarter. So,
right.
I mean...
Right. But I think that comes from him not being in NBA shape, though. I think his conditioning is off. I think once he gets his conditioning back in, I think he'll be.
You think he's going to be a beast in the league?
once he gets in the NBA shape. The ball's in his court as far as how fast he gets the NBA shape.
Okay.
Because too many of those ice baths, he'll learn.
Okay. I agree with you. And the last one before we end for tonight, is Serena Williams retiring?
Oh, is she? I don't know. I hope
I'm
not.
asking, should she retire?
Should she? No.
She got not. How old is Serena? She's got to be like 35.
Somewhere up in there. I mean, she's another one. Like Tom Brady was talking about last week.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't have to taste the bag. She's good. She's
of course.
She's good yeah. I mean, what else does she have to prove? She's won everything. Unless you want to break the record for the most Grand Slams. I think she's like one away from that, right?
Yeah, I think for Serena, it's more about her being one of the first African American women to really dominate tennis.
Mm-hmm.
And I think she wants to continue to have African American women be a part of tennis. Even though we're seeing more, you have Coco Gauff, you have Naomi.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's what it is. So I think eventually, and she's actually 38.
Oh.
She's 38 because she got knocked. Yeah. She got knocked out in the third round.
That's tricky. That's not Serena. That's not Serena-esque right there.
No, and last year, same deal.
Yeah. Maybe she should.
Time?
Maybe she should. I mean, she's got a baby now.
She does.
Isn't she married?
She is.
Okay. I mean, maybe you've done all you can do. You done everything in tennis that you're gonna go down and you're gonna be in the Hall of Fame. If they have a Hall of Fame for tennis, but she's done it all.
Okay.
So maybe it is time. But I'm gonna miss seeing her.
I think that I'm gonna miss seeing her as well, and I don't think we have another voice, another person just yet that's that dominant. Because Coco is good, but Coco is not
dominant.
Serena.
Yeah, and she don't look as good
in
those bodysuits that Serena.
Nope. Nope, we're not doing that.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you was agreeing with me. Sorry.
Nope, I was just not in the body. We're not talking about bodies. We talking about playing physical, top-notch tennis.
Yeah.
Playing the sets. That's what we talking about.
Playing the sets. Okay. We are now. There will never be another
Serena.
Yeah.
And Venus, of course, we can't forget about Venus.
You can.
Coco knocked Venus out. No, Coco is the one that actually knocked Venus out. But in Naomi, and she knocked Naomi out, and then she got knocked out in the first round in the Australian Open. So we need another dominant African American female figure in tennis.
Well, I suggest that we take Serena's DNA, go into
she got
a lab.
Girl. She got a baby. We got one. We just got some years.
Well, we can take her DNA, go into the lab, make another one, because that's not going to be another one.
Well, she got a daughter, so we might see Serena's daughter be the next thing.
That'll be great to see. But we got 14 years to see that, at least.
Yeah, we do. We got a long time. But this has been another episode of the Benchwarmers Show. So if you want to be a part of the Benchwarmers Show, please reach out to us. You can go onto our website, which is just www.millennials.us, and click on the tab that says Benchwarmers and let us know if you want to be on the show. We're always looking for guest hosts. And again, I want to send out my condolences to the Bryant family and rest in peace to the GOAT, to a legend, and also to his daughter and to every other person that was on that plane.
Yep.
Or the helicopter.
I'm with you. Everybody's